Morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Drafts Baseball's live commentary of Major League Baseball. Today's game is going to feature the Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Washington Nationals. The game yesterday between these two was washed out, and this is going to be game one of a day-night doubleheader we will call the first game of. The commentary and views are our opinions and are not affiliated with Major League Baseball, the MLB, or their sponsors. We're providing live reports on the game being played and hope that English-speaking audiences around the globe can enjoy the game on YouTube and Twitch along with us. First off, we're going to bring you the starting lineups from the visitors, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Leading off and playing in center field, wearing number 12, is Dalton Varsho. Batting second and playing second base, wearing number 4, is Ketel Marte. Hitting third and left field, wearing number 6, is David Peralta. Batting fourth at first base, wearing number 28, is Seth Beer. Batting fifth and doing the designated hitting, wearing number 21, is Cooper Hummel. Batting sixth and playing in right field, wearing number 30, is Jake McCarthy. Batting seventh and playing third base today, wearing number 43, is Sergio Alcantara. Batting eighth and doing the catching, wearing number 36, is Jose Herrera. And batting ninth and playing shortstop, wearing number 2, is Geraldo Perdomo. And they are going to be facing the right-hander Josiah Gray, who is 1-1 on the season. Gray was acquired last year, blockbuster trade that sent Max Scherzer and Trey Turner the other way. He was one of the main combatants coming towards the Nationals, along with Keibert Ruiz, who will be his battery mate today. On the season, he was 1-1. As we said, he's got a 4.00 ERA. He's pitched in 9 innings, allowed 9 hits. He's walked 5 and struck out 10. And so he gets the nod today to take over or to begin the game against the Diamondbacks. We'll give you the lineup for the Washington Nationals before their half of the first inning, as this one is just about ready to get underway. It is slated for a 10:05 first pitch, and that is what we are about to witness here, as everybody is just about ready to get this one underway. The game today, the umpires for this one, behind the plate is Nestor Sea. The first base umpire is Stu Sherwater. The second baseman is Lance Barksdale, and the third baseman is Nick Lentz. The weather at game time is 49 degrees. It's partly cloudy, and the wind is blowing at 17 miles an hour out to right field. So look for the balls to potentially travel a little bit today in the Washington Nationals home ballpark. And that is how it stands. So we are about ready to get underway here as Josiah Gray is completing his warm-up tosses. I'll be giving you all the action here. Josiah Gray has a 3-pitch arsenal, really, that he uses: a 4-seam, a curveball, and a slider. He's working on his changeup right now. It's not any important pitch in his arsenal at this point. He really relies on the breaking balls and the fastballs. In his first outing, he went 4 innings. In his last inning, where he got the win, he went 5. And so I'm sure they're trying to stretch him out a little bit more, are the Nationals pitching staff, so he can at least try to give him 6 runs or 6 innings of work. Defensively for the Nationals today, around the horn, from first to third, Josh Bell is the first baseman. It'll be Cesar Hernandez at second. The shortstop is Alcides Escobar, and Maikel Franco has third base. From left to right in the outfield, it is Elaine Thomas. The center fielder is Victor Robles, and the right fielder is Juan Soto. There's the first pitch of the ball game. It is a fastball that misses outside. The count is quickly 1-0 to Dalton Varsho. The battery is Josiah Gray and Keibert Ruiz. So 1 ball and no strikes to Varsho. He's hitting 185 on the season. He's got 1 homer and 1 run batted in. He waits on the delivery from the right-hander Gray, who delivers a fastball at the knees for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. It's a cloudy day, and the fans that are in attendance are bundled up in Washington. There's a lot of empty seats behind home plate. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Varsho. Varsho is in his second year as a Diamondback. He was a rookie considered a rookie during the 2021 campaign. He did not have enough at-bats in 2020. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now runs to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting Varsho. He has some juice in the bat. He had 11 home runs last year, but his batting average on the season was just below 250 at 246. He needs to cut down a bit on his strikeouts and increase the average a little bit more. Bat the ball. There's a fastball swung on it. Just popped up into right field. Moving back on it is the second baseman Hernandez, coming in and calling him off as the right fielder Soto, and he's going to make the catch for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away for the Diamondbacks here in their first inning, and that'll bring up the second baseman Ketel Marte. For Ketel Marte on the season, he's batting .212. He's got no homers and 3 runs batted in. He had a fantastic season in 2019 where he finished 4th in the MVP balloting. He was also an All-Star that year, the first and only time in his career. Originally acquired by the Arizona Diamondbacks from the Seattle Mariner organization. There's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count goes 1-0. Marte was dealt as part of a larger package. He went to Arizona along with Taijuan Walker. In return, it was Mitch Haniger, Gene Segura, and Zach Curtis went the other way. It was probably a good trade for both teams at the time. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. Mitch Haniger has been a very solid player for the Mariners, although he did have some injury issues that put him out of action for quite a bit. Gene Segura, a very productive player who is now playing in Philadelphia, but he had some off-field altercations, or I should say clubhouse altercations. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 1-2. And he was jettisoned out of Seattle fairly quickly after that incident. And Taijuan Walker, of course, was been with the New York Mets, and he's bounced around a little bit. He spent time with the Blue Jays. He went back to the Mariners. He's had some elbow issues. And there's a changeup swung on and missed. And Marte is retired for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the left fielder David Peralta. But just to finish off with Marte, that particular trade was a very good trade for the Diamondbacks, as they've got themselves an everyday player. And I probably would have to give them the edge on the trade because Marte, as we said, was an all-star and finished 4th in MVP balloting. Arguably the best season out of all those players that had moved about. So that brings up the left-handed hitting David Peralta, who's batting .167 on the early season. He's got a homer and a couple RBIs. Here's the first pitch from Gray. It's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Peralta digs himself in. He's slightly upright at the plate. He holds his hands at shoulder height. And here comes the pitch from Gray. It's a breaking ball down. They peel over to the third base umpire, but they say, no, he didn't go. That's going to run the count even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Third base umpire is Nick Lenz, as we said today, as he is getting the rocking chair position, so to speak, for the umpires. Usually the umpires, when they rotate, they go from home plate to third base. They work their way around clockwise around the infield. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 2-1. Not a lot of action usually at third base, especially the day after you have to call balls and strikes. Balls and strikes, of course, can be a very intense thing to do. You're calling the game, and you have to be focused, and so third base in some ways is almost like a day off. Of course, as you move to the right around the infield, there's more action potentially at each base. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. And the count now goes to 3-1 on Peralta. We did see Josiah Gray pitch in his last outing. And one of the thoughts I have is that he has to be able to fill up the zone and throw more strikes. And here comes the 3-1 pitch. As Gray rocks and delivers. And there's a fastball that misses up and away. And that's going to be a 2-out walk for David Peralta. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Seth Beer. So 2 things to keep in mind for Josiah Gray. 1 is attacking the hitters, getting ahead in the count. And 2 is throwing more strikes. He has walked 5 batters in the 9 innings of work this year. And that's not good enough for a starter. You want to try to be down. You want to try to be down below 3. But if you could even be below that, that would be great per 9 innings of work. But for a starter, that's where his target should be. So the runner at first is Peralta, and Beer steps in. He's got a slightly open stance. He hits from the left side. He holds the bat just above his head. There's a breaking ball that he takes for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. For Beer on the season, he is off to a very good start. He's hitting .381 with a homer and 5 runs batted in. Gray leans in. He gets the sign from his catcher, Ruiz. He checks the runner at first. He comes set at the belt. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. And the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Beer was originally a first-round draft choice of the Houston Astros back in 2018 out of Clemson University. He was acquired by the Diamondbacks as part of the trade that sent Zach Greinke to Houston. And so now he's getting his opportunity. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count goes to 2-1. There were a number of players that arrived in Arizona, including Josh Rojas, Corbin Martin, and J.B. Bukowskis. As they had Greinke and Cash went the other way. Good trade by the Diamondbacks. They were able to clear a big salary off their books. They really weren't going anywhere right now. And Zach Greinke on the mound, although being a great pitcher, there was a fastball swung on and missed. Wasn't going to win enough games or help them win enough games to get to the playoffs. So the Diamondbacks are retooling at this point. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Beer. The runner at first, Peralta, establishes his lead. It's not a big lead. He's not all the way out to the cutout. Gray checks the runner as he comes set at the belt. He kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now runs to 3-2 on Beer. So with the count full, we can expect David Peralta to be off to the races. It is a cold day in Washington, and the right-hander Gray is blowing on his hand, as they've been allowed to do. As we said, temperature at game time was 49 degrees. It's not really expected to get much more than that. So here comes the 3-2 pitch to Beer. Gray set at the belt. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball taken for a called 3rd strike. Beer stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 3. And that is going to do it for the Diamondbacks here in their half of the 1st inning. So there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through a half inning. In Washington, it is the Arizona Diamondbacks 0. The Washington Nationals coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in a minute, and we'll give you the starting lineup for the Nats when we return. This is our friend Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check out his channel after the game.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Appreciate you, Steve, and your support of our channel, and in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to check him out. He's got Money Monday, Takeover Tuesday. He's got the Saturday morning cartoons and the Sunday shoutouts. All interesting things. Now, the starting lineup for the Washington Nationals that will be facing the starter Madison Bumgarner for the Arizona Diamondbacks. It'll lead off, and playing at second base wearing number 1 is Cesar Hernandez. Batting second in right field is number 22, Juan Soto. Batting third and doing the designated hitting is Nelson Cruz. In the cleanup spot and playing first base wearing number 19 is Josh Bell. Batting fifth and doing the catching wearing number 20 is Keibert Ruiz. Batting sixth and playing third base is number 7, Michael Franco. Batting seventh and in left field wearing number 28 is Lane Thomas. Batting eighth at shortstop wearing number 3 is Alcides Escobar. And Victor Robles is in center field. He wears number 16. He's batting ninth. And Madison Bumgarner is the starter today for the Diamondbacks. Bumgarner is a throwing lefty. Was best known, his best years were with the San Francisco Giants. A four-time All-Star on this season. He has appeared in 2 games. He's worked 8 innings, allowed 6 hits, given up 2 runs, both earned. He's walked 6 and only struck out 4. Bumgarner takes to the hill today to get things going against Cesar Hernandez. And here's the first pitch from Bumgarner. It's a fastball at 90 miles an hour that catches the inside corner. And Hernandez takes that for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. For Hernandez on the season, he's batting .250. He's got nothing across his slash line in 11 games. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It's grounded to third. It's fielded neatly by Alcantara. He throws to first, and that will retire Hernandez on a ground out, 5-3 for out number 1 here in the first inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that brings up the right fielder, Juan Soto. For Juan Soto on the season, he's batting .289. He's got 3 homers and 3 runs batted in. Soto is one of those few players we talked about when the last time we did the Nationals. Last season, he walked more than he struck out. He led the league in walks with 145. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into left field. Camping out underneath it is the left fielder Peralta. He makes the catch. And with 3 pitches, there are quickly 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. That is going to leave it up to the designated hitter, Nelson Cruz. For Nelson Cruz on the season, hitting a .190, he's got 1 homer and 6 runs batted in. He's yet to get things moving. Of course, as the weather heats up, the bats should start to heat up for both of these teams. We've got undrafted player in the house again today, listening all the way from France. We appreciate you being here. There's a fastball delivered and taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Nelson Cruz. We do thank everybody who was popping in today. It was a late addition to our schedule as there were a number of games washed out yesterday. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count now goes to 0-2 on Cruz. So this game here, we added to our schedule. There is rain in the area, and that is what we are seeing right now. So hopefully they're going to be able to plow through this. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. Bumgarner gets his sign from his catcher, Herrera. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and fires, and there's a fastball swung on, and it's tipped right into the mask of the young catcher, and that's going to keep the count at 0-2. And not only is it precipitating, it's a sort of a hail sleet that is falling. So here you have the cherry blossoms in full bloom in DC, and at the same time you're getting sleet. So no balls and 2 strikes. Fibbage says he likes the Nats over the Diamondbacks. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-2 on Cruz. Vivid Life in our chat here says they've surprised him a few times. I think Josiah Gray or Bumgarner, I would take Bumgarner over Gray all day long. But offensively, the offense certainly goes to the Nationals. So then once they chase Bumgarner, the Arizona bullpen can become a bit of an adventure. There's a fastball that misses upstairs to Cruz, and the count goes to 2-2. Bumgarner is not a particularly quick worker. He's very methodical at what he does, and he's ready to go into the motion. Gets the sign from his catcher, and here he kicks and delivers, and that is a fastball that is a check swing. They have to appeal down to first base, and the first base umpire goes up with the right hand, and that is going to do it for Nelson Cruz. That first base umpire is Stu Sherwater. And Stu Sherwater has banged him out for out number 3. So that is going to do it for the Nationals in their half of the first inning. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 1 complete. It's the Arizona Diamondbacks. Nothing. The Washington Nationals. Nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with the call of the second inning. We're glad you guys could be here with us today. Here's our friend Dave.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game. And Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Thought Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the second inning. It's going to be Cooper Hummel, Jake McCarthy, and Sergio Alcantara to face the right-hander Josiah Gray. Gray, in the first inning, took care of the order of the Diamondbacks. He faced 4 batters. He struck out 2. He didn't allow David Peralta to beat base with a walk. Now he's facing 5, 6, and 7 in the batting order. It was a 20-pitch inning for Gray in the first inning. We'll be keeping an eye on that to see if he can be economical. He used only 10 balls and 10 strikes. As we said in the first inning, he's going to have to attack the hitters and throw strikes and get ahead in the count. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. The top of the stream, we also said that Gray really relies heavily on his fastball and breaking ball. He's a fastball, slider, curveball guy. Really doesn't throw a changeup very much. There's a fastball at 92 miles an hour that catches the outside corner. The count goes to 1-1. He is working to develop a 4th pitch, but right now his pitch mix has been pretty much fastball, curveball, and slider. So here comes the 1-1 pitch to Hummel. Gray rocks into the motion, and he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted down the right field line, and it's going to reach the empty seats, well foul. And a young lad with a Soto jersey has picked it up. And that is just a long strike for Cooper Hummel. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hummel on the season, batting .125 with a homer and 3 runs batted in. From the left side against the right-hander Gray, who kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Hummel is retired on strikes for the first out of the inning. That's number 3 in the books for Gray. That will bring up the right fielder, Jake McCarthy. For McCarthy, on the season, he's batting .083. He's got nothing across his slash line. As he comes up to face Gray. Gray gets himself asked for a new baseball, and he's rubbed it up. He's ready to go. Another left-handed stick in the lineup to face the right-hander Gray today. McCarthy gets himself dug in, and Gray gets the sign from his catcher, Ruiz. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and fires. Squaring to bunt is McCarthy, but he pulls back and takes a breaking ball low for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to McCarthy. McCarthy was originally drafted out of high school by the Pittsburgh Pirates, but he turned that down. He ended up going to the University of Virginia. He was later a first-round pick in the 2018 draft. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 2-0. He was drafted in the first round by the Diamondbacks, so he's a homegrown player from the college. He did make his big league debut last year. He appeared in 24 games for the D-backs. So here comes the 2-0 pitch from Gray. He kicks and fires. It is bunted, and it is down. Gray fields it to the third base side of the mound. He fires to first, and McCarthy is retired. It's going to go down as a ground out, 1-3 for out number 2. It wasn't the best of bunts, but you could see what he was trying to do. If he could have been able to push that just a little bit further, he might have been able to get it by the pitcher. They were shading him a little bit more to his pull side. In fact, they were right on the pull side. So he was definitely bunting the right idea. And I'm not sure why there aren't more players who do that. It's a smart play by McCarthy. There's nobody over there at third base. The third baseman for the Nationals, Mikael Franco, was playing a very shallow shortstop, but not in a position where he would have been able to make that play. And there's a breaking ball delivered to Sergio Alcantara that misses down for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. For Alcantara on the season, he's batting .143. He's got a homer and 3 runs batted in. This is Alcantara's second tour duty with the Diamondbacks. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. Alcantara was originally dealt to the Detroit Tigers as part of a package that brought back J.D. Martinez. And then he was let go by the Tigers. He ended up in the Chicago Cubs organization, and then he was purchased by the Diamondbacks from the Cubs, and that's how he is back there for the second time. He takes a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-1. But it's his first big league action in a Diamondback uniform at the big league level. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 3-1. This is sort of a similar pattern that happened in the first inning where Gray got the first 2 outs, and then he walked the third hitter in the order. He wasn't able to put the side away. And then he eventually struck out the fourth batter in the inning. And this is where we sit here with Alcantara. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Gray rocks and fires. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. That runs the count to 3-2. Alcantara was stepping backwards out of the batter's box, and they thought that there was possibly going to be called ball 4. But before he could discard the bat, he got himself back into the box. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into right center field. Coming in on it is Soto. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it here in the second inning for the Arizona Diamondbacks. They go quietly. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Through 1.5, it is the Arizona Diamondbacks nothing, the Washington Nationals nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call at the bottom of the second inning. We appreciate you guys being here. We thank you again for tuning in to listen to us. Here's our friend, Matt.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
That's right, everybody. That's Matt Hollis. Be sure to check out his channel after the game. He's a supporter of ours, and in turn, we like to support him. Let's see, another Hollis build. We'll be back in just a moment, everybody, with the call of the bottom of the second inning after these tunes. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the Washington batting order coming up to face the left-hander Madison Bumgarner. That means it's going to be Josh Bell, Keibert Ruiz, and Maikel Franco as they battle the longtime lefty who is now applying his trade in Arizona. As we said, the 4-time All-Star, all with the San Francisco Giants, took his act a couple of seasons ago to the desert. And he's ready to face the right-handed hitting Josh Bell. And there's a first pitch swung on. It's a hit on a line on one hop to the third baseman. It's knocked down by Alcantara. He picks it up and fires to first. And that is going to retire Bell on one pitch. There is one away. A nice play by the third baseman Alcantara, who kept his body in front of the ball, was able to knock the ball down. And it was almost a bit of self-defense because it handcuffed him a little bit as it rode up on him, but he was able to quickly recover, fire across the diamond to retire Nelson Cruz for retire Josh Bell for out number 1. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Keibert Ruiz. Ruiz takes a breaking ball over for a called strike. It quickly makes the count no balls and 1 strike. was thinking of Nelson Cruz, but Nelson Cruz was the last out of the last inning. Neither of the players are particularly speedsters. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded slowly to third. It's fielded by Alcantara. He fires to first. And just like that, there are two quick outs, both via the ground out, 5-3 for out number 2. That's going to leave it up to the third baseman, Maikel Franco. Franco on the season is hitting .275. He's got a homer and 8 runs batted in. Madison Bumgarner has made quick work of the Nationals. 9 pitches in the first inning. So far, only 3 pitches here in the second. We'll keep an eye on the pitch count. And here's the first pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. As we said, it is a cold day in Washington. There was some sleet falling in the bottom of the first inning. That has subsequently stopped, and it looks like the sun is trying to break through the clouds again. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 2-0. Bumgarner is not using any sleeves below the elbow in his jersey. Sometimes you'll see pitchers, they really have sleeves all the way down their arms, and in this case, on a cold day, he has not chosen to do that. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. So here comes the pitch, and it is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Franco batting from the right side against the left-handed Bumgarner. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses inside, and Franco has earned himself a 2-out walk as he is aboard. That is going to bring up the left fielder, Lane Thomas. We have Montreal Williams in the house here today. We welcome him. Thanks for being here. And we appreciate those kind words there, Montreal. Thank you for being here today. So we're normally calling Boogie Game both on Twitch and on YouTube. This game is only done today on YouTube. No Twitch followers today. There's a first pitch fastball that misses inside, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Thomas. For Lane Thomas on the season, he's batting .182. He's got no homers and 5 runs batted in. And here's the pitch from Bumgarner. It's swung on. It's grounded to third, over to first, and that is going to do it. That's another 5-3 ground out here in the second inning for out number 3. That bat was also broken on the play, and so there were splinters going all over the place. But for the Washington Nationals in their half of the second inning, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 2 complete. It is the Arizona Diamondbacks nothing, the Washington Nationals nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments for the call. At the top of the third inning, we're glad you guys could be here with us today. Here is our friend, Steve Rademacher again. Be sure to check out his channel after the game.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have Lira. We have Yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPG baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you, Steve, and your support of the channel, and we appreciate everybody who's checking in here today. We got Montreal Williams and Derek Hardy listening with us as well. We'll be back in just a moment after these tunes with the call of the top of the third inning. We're glad you guys could be with us for this one. Hold tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Josiah Gray ready to go back to work here in the top of the third inning as he's facing Jose Herrera, Gerardo Perdomo, and Dalton Varsho, the 8-9 one-hitters in the Diamondback order. There's a first pitch fastball that takes the outside corner, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and one strike. Gray ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count now goes even to 1-1. Herrera on the season has no batting average, and he has nothing on his slash line either. He has 9 at-bats on the season. He is looking for his first hit. He has a couple of walks. Here's the pitch from Gray. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up. It's behind second base. Moving over underneath it is the second baseman, Cesar Hernandez, and he's going to make the grab. And that is going to do it for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Geraldo Perdomo. For those of you who are new to our channel and that are listening in, we are going to be back on the airwaves again tomorrow. We're going to be doing the Milwaukee Brewers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. We do a lot of the games in the day, and we do the Japanese games on the weekend. So if you're up late night on the West Coast or on the East Coast and you want to jump in, feel free to jump in with us. The other 2 games on our schedule this week, we have the Tigers and Yankees on Thursday, and Friday we'll be doing the Cubs and the Pirates. So we're going to see the Pirates twice this week. There's a fastball delivered to Perdomo that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Gray gets his sign from his catcher, Ruiz. He's ready to go back to work. There's a fastball at the belt taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1. Neither of these teams are particular mash units. The numbers for the Diamondbacks are particularly ugly. There is Seth Beer entering the game hitting 381 today. And everybody else is all hitting below 212. And there is a fastball that is swung on and missed, and that runs the count to 1-2. On the flip side for the Washington Nationals, they have 4 players in their lineup batting 250 or better. Hernandez, Soto, Josh Bell, and Maikel Franco. Here comes the 1-2 pitch on the way to Perdomo. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul into the seats down the third base line, and that keeps the count at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. That is the 40th pitch now for Josiah Gray. And he has settled down. He started to fill up the zone with more strikes than when he had started. So here comes the pitch to Perdomo. It's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes even to 2-2. His first 20 pitches of the ball game, he was dead even at 10 balls and 10 strikes. His second set, he's now got 22 strikes and 18 balls. So be curious to see if he's going to improve throughout the ball game on that percentage. There's a fastball that's taken for a called third strike. Perdomo stood there like the house by the side of the road. He's shaking his head, and we had to take a look at that one again. I can understand why Perdomo is shaking his head. That pitch there was not received very well by Kyber Ruiz. Not only was it off the plate, it looked like it was almost in the other batter's box. That is going to retire Perdomo for the second out of the inning. I guess the umpire, Nestor Sea, probably figured that Perdomo wasn't using the bat anyway, so he might as well just take it right out of his hands and finish that one off. That was really, really outside. Maybe it's just that cold in Washington that he wants to get things going. So that brings up the center fielder, Dalton Varsho. And the first pitch to Varsho is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted to deep right center field. It's going to be trouble. Moving back onto the warning track is the center fielder for the Nationals, Robles. He leaps at the wall, and it is gone. A home run for Dalton Varsho, and that's going to open the scoring here for the Diamondbacks. And they're half of the third inning, and they are now up 1-0 over the Nationals. That ball just kept carrying and carrying and carrying, and at the start of the ball game, the wind was blowing out to right field at about 17 miles an hour. And that got up into the jet stream. It sure didn't look like off the crack of the bat that it was going to go, but it did carry right out, and the Nationals are now trailing the Diamondbacks 1-0. We've got Jimmy Redbeard in the house, and we thank you for stopping in today. We appreciate you being here. So Dalton Varsho has opened the scoring here, and here comes Ketel Marte to the plate. He swings at a first pitch fastball and fouls that one off, and the count is 0-1. So 1 ball and no strikes to Ketel Marte. For Marte today, he is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. His average has slipped to 206 on the season. The switch hitter is batting from the left side against the right-hander Gray. There's a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Everybody is in here today. We welcome those who are listening on Twitch. We were able to make an adjustment. And there is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is golfed into right field. Moving over to his right is the right fielder Juan Soto, and he's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it. But the Diamondbacks get on the board here in their half of the third inning. A solo shot by Dalton Varsho was the run in the inning. There was 1 run, 1 hit. There were no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 2.5. It is the Arizona Diamondbacks 1, the Washington Nationals nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes for the call. The bottom of the third inning. We're glad you guys could pop in here to be here with us today. This is Major League Baseball in the morning on the West Coast or in the afternoon on the East Coast. Hang tight. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom of the first inning, and the Arizona Diamondbacks hold a 1-0 lead over the Washington Nationals. It's going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the batting order coming up. That means Alcides Escobar, Victor Robles, and Cesar Hernandez to face the left-hander Madison Bumgarner. And here comes the first pitch to Escobar. It is a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. For Escobar on the season, he's batting .156. He's got no homers and 1 RBI. He hits from the right side against the left-handed throwing Bumgarner. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to left field, but it's going to hook foul just to the left of the foul pole. And that is going to run the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. Escobar was a longtime player with the Kansas City Royals. He began his career in the Milwaukee Brewer organization. He was flipped over to the Royals. He was their shortstop in their World Series runs. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count now goes to 2-1. He was an all-star in 2015. He also had won a Gold Glove. In 2019, he could not get a job in the big leagues, and in 2020, he went and played with the Yomiuri Giants over in, I checked that, the Tokyo Yakult Swallows over in Japan. He spent a year in Japan, and then he bounced back with the Nationals last year, and that is where he is today. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 2-2 on Escobar. Bumgarner ready to go back to work. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. This is going to reach the seats over on the first base side. That keeps the count at 2-2. Bumgarner was very efficient in his first 2 innings of work, only throwing 19 pitches. Be curious to see how long a leash that they're going to have for Madison today. He gets the sign from his Catcher Herrera goes back to work. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Montreal Williams asked the question, are we going 7 or 9 innings today? This should be a 9-inning affair on the doubleheaders this year. It's a good question. And so here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. That's going to keep the count at 2-2 to Escobar. Last year, they were playing softball rules. This year here, they're 9-inning affairs. It is a day-night doubleheader in Washington, as this is a makeup game. Yesterday's games were rained out. As we said here in the bottom of the first inning, we were getting sleet. But it looks like the sun is trying to poke its eyes through the clouds. And there is a fastball swung on, and this is going to reach the seats. And Escobar is starting to become quite the problem for Bumgarner. This is going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat. Our undrafted player says Dalton Varsho is the son of former Major League outfielder and manager Gary Varsho. For some reason, I can't quite get all of the information. There it is. He says, and he's named after Darren Daulton. That's an interesting piece. Of course, Darren Daulton was the longtime catcher with the Philadelphia Phillies. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and this is going to now bring pitch number 10 to Alcides Escobar. So we've got the battle brewing here between Bumgarner and Escobar. There's nothing pitchers hate worse is when they have the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the batting order, guys that you think you should be able to put away fairly efficiently, take you for a battle. So here comes the 3-2 pitch again. It's a breaking ball, and he's lost them. Escobar gets himself a leadoff walk here in the 3rd inning. That is going to bring up the center fielder, Victor Robles. There have been high expectations for Victor Robles over his tour in Washington. They cleared Michael Taylor out. Michael Taylor went to the Kansas City Royals organization to make room for this right-handed hitting center fielder. He's been with the organization his entire career. He finished 6th in Rookie of the Year balloting in 2019, and here comes the first pitch. It's bunted down the first baseline. It's a good one. It's fielded by the catcher Herrera. He throws in mid-step, and that is going to get the center. That's going to get Robles by a half a step, but that's going to go down as a sacrifice, 2-3, and that's going to advance Alcides Escobar over to second base. So that is the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the top of the order, Cesar Hernandez. Something you don't see a whole lot of in North America these days are the sacrifice bunts. I'm not so sure that that was so much a sacrifice as much as it was an attempt to get on base. There's a fastball swung on and missed by Hernandez, and the count is quickly 0-1. Hernandez today grounded to third his first time up, as he is 0 for 1. Bumgarner gets the sign from his catcher Herrera. He's ready to go to work again. And there's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner. And the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Hernandez. Bumgarner leans in. He gets the sign from his catcher Herrera. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball off the outside corner. And the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So our undrafted player says that Darren Daulton information came from Wikipedia. Always good to check on some of the stuff that goes on to Wikipedia. There's a changeup that's swung on and fouled away. For the most part, it is fairly decent, as long as the people are referencing it. But I saw something the other day. There was a minor league player on TikTok who was getting trolled by either former fans or whatever it was. He's been retired out of the game. And somebody made a comment and said he was best known for his ERA of 23, his career ERA of 23. He spent most of his time in the minors, but had a cup of coffee in the big leagues. And so apparently somebody had gone in and changed his Wikipedia page. There's a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 1-2. I'll have to get you the name of that player in a future stream, but it was just kind of funny. So he's like, come on, guys, You guys are getting me after me for my ERA of 23. Well, listen, you got to tip your hat to him. He got to the big leagues. So here's the 1-2 pitch. And there is a changeup swung on and missed. And Hernandez is retired for out number 2 here in the third inning, and that's going to leave it all up to the right fielder, Juan Soto. For Soto today, he is 0 for 1. He lined out to the left fielder on the first pitch he saw in his first at bat. His average has dipped to 282 on the season. When I watch Madison Bumgarner pitch, he's really very low 3/4. Makes it very, very difficult. There's the first pitch fastball that misses upstairs. They appeal down to the third base umpire, Nick Lenz, who goes up with the right hand. That is going to change that. That's going to make the count now 0-1 to Soto. So no balls and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch from Bumgarner. But before that happens, Soto has asked for time, and it has been granted by the home plate umpire, Nestor Isaiah. Lots of empty seats in this afternoon affair here in Washington. It's a cold, blustery day. It's 49 degrees at first pitch. There is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side, and that's going to run the count to 0-2. But that being said, it's cold and blustery, and the fans that are in attendance, you can see when they're in the sunlight, it's fairly decent. If you're sitting in the shade, people are really bundled up. The wind that was blowing out to right field at 17 miles an hour to begin the ball game, and the home run that Dalton Varsho hit in the top half of this inning was probably a benefit of that. And off to third goes Alcides Escobar, and he's going to steal third. The throw from Herrera, not in time, but they are going to have a look at this, are the Diamondbacks. They're not convinced that Escobar made it safely. We're going to take a look. He got a big running jump on the lefty. It was a very gutsy decision. We're going to have to take a look. That is going to be a reviewable play, and it's worth reviewing. And I think this call is going to get overturned. I think Sergio Alcantara was able to get the tag down onto Escobar before Escobar got into the base. And I think this is going to be overturned as the third base umpire, Nick Lenz, who's had to make already a couple of check swing calls, is in on the action here. I certainly think that is going to be out number 3, but we'll have to wait for the official call. Umpires are on their headsets talking to New York. Everybody is still on the field, but I have a feeling this is going to be overturned. But again, they may have some different angles that we don't have. Certainly the angles that I've witnessed, as far as I'm concerned, that is, to me, a out at third base. I'm almost convinced to put that into my book as a caught stealing 2-5. So here comes it's like the umpires are getting their decisions. And now they're going to make their call. And it has been reversed. That is going to go down as a caught stealing 2-5 for out number 3. Escobar is the third out at third to end the inning. It'll mean Soto will come to bat to lead off the bottom of the fourth. So for the Nationals in their half of the third inning, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 3 complete. It's the Arizona Diamondbacks 1, the Washington Nationals nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the 4th inning. We're glad you guys could be here with us. Here's our friend Matt again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's another Hollis build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you, Matt Hollis, and your support of our channel. In turn, we like to support Matt. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the fourth inning after this. Would you like to support Last Drafts Baseball? We would appreciate it if you did. Be sure to check out our eBay page where we have baseball merchandise. We also have stuff from the Japanese League for those who listen from Japan. But we also do other sports like football and basketball as well. Don't forget, visit Last Drafts Baseball's eBay store to help support the channel. We'll be glad you did. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the Arizona batting order. That means it's going to be David Peralta, Seth Beer, and Cooper Hummel to face Josiah Gray. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses off the outside corner. They appeal down to the third base umpire, Nick Lenz, and up goes the right hand, as they said that Peralta, who had squared the bunt, offered at the pitch, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Gray goes into the motion. He delivers. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and now the count is quickly 0-2. Peralta today is officially 0 for 0. He walked his first time up. There's only been 2 players reach base for the Diamondbacks, and he is one of them. The other was the home run by Dalton Varsho. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. There is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Peralta. Peralta is struggling to get things going here at the beginning of the year, like most of the batters in the Diamondback batting order. He has been with the Diamondbacks his entire career, began back in 2014, and here comes the pitch from Josiah Gray, and we're just going to have to hold that for a moment. That ball is swung on. That is driven into right center field. Digging for 2 is Peralta, and he is going to reach it standing up. Peralta has smoked himself a double to start off the 4th inning, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Seth Beer. So Peralta aboard with a leadoff double, and that brings Beer to the plate. Be interesting if they could ever add a player with the last name of Nachos. That would provide quite entertainment for the Diamondbacks. You'd have Beer followed by Nachos or something like that in the lineup. But Seth Beer it is. His average has slipped to 364 as he's 0 for 1 today. He struck out looking his first time up. Holding the ball at the belt is Gray. He checks the runner Peralta at second. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats over behind the third base dugout. So no balls and 1 strike to Beer. I'd be curious, as I said, to see how far they're going to let Gray go. He was around 80 pitches the last outing that we saw him. One would have to think they may try to stretch him a little bit further in this one. The one thing we did notice is that when he did start to get around 60 pitches, his command of his pitches started to fade last time. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-1. For those of you tuning in or wondering which team I'm cheering for, really neither one. I'm a fan of neither of these clubs. It's just an opportunity to call some afternoon baseball. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Beer. The runner at second is Peralta. There is nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. The Diamondbacks are looking to pad to their lead. Gray checks the runner at second. He kicks and delivers. There is a fastball that is taken for a called strike. And the count goes to 1-2. We called the Sunday night game between the Padres and the Braves. Sometimes there's opportunities to see other teams that you don't see regular. And I was really impressed with Spencer Strider, who came in relief. Ended up going, I believe, 3 1/3 innings against the Padres. He was sitting on 99 miles an hour. I'm curious to see if they're going to stretch him out and then turn him into a starter. Very impressive stuff. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. Gray checks the runner at second. He delivers. There's a fastball that misses up. Count is now 2-2. The starter in that game for the Braves was Bryce Edler. And he has some interesting stuff too, but he doesn't throw as hard as the power arm of Strider, who came out of the bullpen. Both those two players that we saw for the Braves the other night were arms that were drafted in the 2020 shortened draft. Edler a 4th and Strider a 5th round pick, both out of college. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. And there is a breaking ball that is swung out in the dirt. And that is going to retire Beer for the second time today via the strikeout. That is going to bring up the designated hitter, Cooper Hummel. That is the 5th strikeout of the ball game registered by Josiah Gray. He does have that swing and miss stuff as he flashes both a slider and a curveball. So Gray gets a new baseball and he rubs it up and he's ready to go back to work to face Hummel. Hummel today is 0 for 1. He also struck out his last time up to lead off the second inning. Gray comes set at the belt. He checks the runner, Peralta, at second. He kicks and fires. There is a breaking ball that misses down, but the home plate umpire, Nestor Sayas, says that Hummel went, and he deems that a strike, and the count is 0-1. He didn't need any help from the third base umpire to make that decision. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. Gray checks the runner at second. Checks him again. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in. And the count now goes to 1-1. Cooper Hummel was originally an 18th round draft choice of the University of Portland back in the 2016 draft. This is his rookie season in the big leagues. He's 2 for 16 as he made the team out of spring training. Does feature a pretty good eye at the plate. He's walked more than he struck out in the early going. He's been on base with 7 base on balls. And here comes the pitch from Gray. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 2-1. University of Portland has not been around all that long as a program. They started as a club program. And of course, they're now a member in the NCAA. There's 2 balls and 1 strike. Right-hander Gray looks in. He gets the sign from his catcher Ruiz, but now Hummel feels that he's taken too much time and he's going to step away. Currently, this is the only ball game going on in the major leagues right now. There are other games that will be starting this afternoon. They'll have some makeup games as the Giants and the Mets are going to get going in just over an hour's time. And here comes the pitch, and off to the races goes the runner to third, and Peralta is going to be gunned out at third. It's the second time in as many innings as we have witnessed a runner going to third base, trying to steal on the pitcher. This one is going to go to the replay, though. We are going to get another look at this as Nick Lenz, the third base umpire, has been quite busy. Franco did hold on to the ball. We're going to take a look at it ourselves, and I think that this call is going to be upheld. I think he got the call right this time, and that's going to be 2 attempted steals of third base in back-to-back innings. Let's see if the Diamondbacks challenge, and they choose not to because they agree that he is out. So that's going to be caught stealing on Peralta, 2-5. I said you never make the third out at third. Well, that's what happened to Escobar, and there is a pitch that's outside, and that's going to be ball 4 to Hummel. So Hummel gets himself a 2-out walk, but just back to that play at third base again. Peralta took off. He was out probably by, on our count on the replay, probably by a couple inches. The throw wasn't perfect. Escobar had got to the bag. The throw was into the runner. He had to reach back and apply the tag, and that ended up retiring Peralta for the second out, but the inning still goes on as Hummel is now the runner at first with Jake McCarthy stepping to the dish. McCarthy today is 0 for 1. He tried to bunt his way on the first time up as they had a shift on for him. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. McCarthy's average has dipped to 0.77. The right-hander Gray gets the sign from his catcher Ruiz. The left-handed hitting McCarthy waggles the bat at the plate. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. Gray instead fires over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Hummel. Just back to Hummel for a moment there. That's his 8th walk of the young season. He's not been putting the ball into play as well as he is getting on base by his eyesight. Really disciplined at the plate, laying off at swinging at bad pitches. So here comes the 0-1 to McCarthy. Gray holds, he kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses well off the dish, and the count now is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to the left-handed stick McCarthy. Jake McCarthy, as we mentioned in his first at-bat, he was a graduate of the University of Virginia program. He was drafted out of high school originally by the Pirates. The Diamondbacks got him in the first round of the 2018 draft. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into left field. That ball is going to get down, and Hummel is going to stop at second. Hummel was in motion on the pitch as he had taken off, but where the ball was struck, as McCarthy reaches on a base hit to left field, Hummel has to throw on the brakes at second. He couldn't go all the way around to third. The ball was hit just a little too firm. That is going to leave it all up to Sergio Alcantara. So Alcantara steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1 today. He flew up to right field his first time up, but he was pretty busy defensively so far in this one. He's had a putout and 4 assists. So he's involved in almost half of the outs for the Diamondbacks. In the second inning, he made all the plays defensively. They were all ground outs, 5-3. The ball hit by Josh Bell was absolutely scorched at him. Now he gets a chance to work the stick, and here comes the first pitch from Gray. It is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Alcantara. And what was very interesting when we go back and take a look at the replay, the base runner, Hummel, was racing into second base. And what caused him to slow up on that base hit to left field is Alcides Escobar was coming to second base to apply the tag. So that tells me that Hummel did not pick up the ball off the crack of the bat. There's a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away by Alcantara, and the count is 0-2, because if it was a hit and run play, he needed to be able to pick up to see where that ball truly was put in play. But Escobar was racing to the base as if he was covering for a potential throwdown. It caused Hummel to slide into second. Otherwise, he would have went all the way first to third if he would have picked up that ball, one would think. So here comes the 0-2 pitch to Alcantara. Gray holds at the belt. He checks the runner at second. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is going to do it for the Diamondbacks in the air half of the 4th inning. They threaten, but they don't score. There was no runs in the inning. There were 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is the Arizona Diamondbacks 1, the Washington Nationals nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back for the call of the bottom of the 4th inning in just a couple moments. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher again. Be sure to check out his channel after the game for all your entertainment needs.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars, That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Appreciate you, Steve, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the fourth in just a couple moments.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna...
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the fourth inning, and coming up for the Washington Nationals will be Juan Soto, Nelson Cruz, and Josh Bell. They'll be facing the left-hander Madison Bumgarner, who is beginning his fourth inning of work. Soto was at the plate when the base runner Alcides Escobar got gunned down trying to steal third, so he starts off with a fresh count. There's a fastball that misses well off the outside corner, and the count now is quickly 1-0 to Soto. Soto today is 0 for 1. He lined out to the left fielder his first time up. His average has trickled down to 282 on the season, but we know Soto is going to heat up at some point through the year. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-0. As we mentioned, it is a very blustery day, cold day in Washington. The left-hander Bumgarner blows on his hand. He's ready to go back to work. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses inside. The count now goes to 3-0. Soto, Cruz, and Bell, the big guns in the Nationals batting order, here to face Bumgarner in their half of the fourth inning. Bumgarner ready to go to work. He's a bit of a side saddler. He rocks into the motion, and he delivers a fastball that just misses up and in. It just misses hitting Juan Soto, and Bumgarner's got a couple of words for the right fielder as he goes down the line, 3-0. And Soto is aboard with a leadoff walk here in the fourth inning, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Nelson Cruz. That was definitely some chin music for sure. Soto had a couple of things to say to Bumgarner as he's running to first, and Bumgarner gave it right back to him. Certainly those two guys would be a heavyweight tilt. They had to go after one another. Two very quality players. So here comes the first pitch to Nelly Cruz. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep left field, but it's going to hook foul. It's going to reach the second deck, but way at the end of the second deck for a long strike, and the count is 0-1 to Cruz. Cruz today is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. He's yet to get really rolling this season as well. There's a changeup swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Cruz. The veteran bat of the Washington Nationals had a 1-year deal before the season started. He got 1 year, $15 million. There's a mutual option for next year. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. Cruz began his big league career way back with the Milwaukee Brewers in 2005. 18 seasons in the big leagues. This is his 7th ball club. 16 of his 18 years have been spent in the American League. The only other time he was in the National League would have been with the Milwaukee Brewers organization when he began his career. There's a breaking ball that misses down from Bumgarner, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nelly Cruz. They definitely wanted to have a balk in that particular, on that last pitch Juan Soto, for some reason, thought that Bumgarner had done something that should have moved him to second base. So here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses in. It's dropped by the catcher, Herrera, but not advancing as Soto. It's going to run the count to 3-2 to Cruz. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Nelly Cruz. The sun is back out again in Washington. As we said, it's been gray skies for the most part. It's ebbed and flowed a little bit. We had sleet in the bottom of the first inning, and here comes the 3-2 pitch. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and that is back-to-back walks here to start the 4th inning. Soto and Cruz are aboard. That's going to bring up the hot-hitting Josh Bell. And that's also going to bring out Herrera, to his catcher, to the mound, and the pitching coach to come out and have a word with Madison Bumgarner. The pitching coach for the Arizona Diamondbacks is the former longtime Houston Astro pitching coach, Brent Strom. He comes out and has a word with Bumgarner to settle him down. Strom, originally going back years ago, was in the St. Louis Cardinal organization. And from what I've been led to understand, that Tony La Russa, Dave Duncan, that group that was running the Cardinals at the time, really didn't see eye to eye with the younger Strom, who was a pitching coach in the minor leagues. That ended up moving him away to another organization. Of course, he ended up bouncing around a little bit, and then obviously had some great success with the Astros, winning a World Series a few years ago. There's a first pitch that misses down to the switch hitting Josh Bell, who's batting right-handed against the lefty Bumgarner. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So the bullpen phone should be ringing. They should be on high alert right now. Something is going awry here for Bumgarner. He's lost a little bit off his velocity on his fastball, too, so that's also a concern. So here comes the pitch to Bell. That's an 88-mile-an-hour fastball that swung on and missed. Count is now 2-1. Bumgarner does not throw as hard as he used to. He has been at 91, 92 miles an hour, but he's been sitting right around 90. But the last couple of fastballs have registered at 88 and 87. There's an 87-mile-an-hour fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bumgarner rubs up the baseball, and he's ready to go back to work. And here's the pitch to Bell. It's a fastball swung on. It is fouled away over on the first base side. That keeps the count at 2-2. Waiting on deck is the catcher, Keibert Ruiz. Bumgarner does not have the overpowering heat like he does before. Every once in a while, he can reach back and get a few extra miles on the pitch. That is no longer his game. He's more of a change speeds, hit your spot type pitcher. And there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to third. It's stepped on by the third baseman, Franco. He goes across the diamond, and that is a double play, a great play by the third baseman, third baseman, Sergio Alcantara. I've got the teams mixed up there. Alcantara steps on the bag at third. He retires the runner, Soto, and he goes across the diamond to double up Bell. So that double play is going to go in the books as a 5-3 double play. It's going to advance Nelson Cruz to second, and just like that, Madison Bumgarner has got himself out of a really big jam. That's going to bring up Keibert Ruiz to the plate. And here's the first pitch to Ruiz. It is a fastball that swung on and lifted into the seats behind the first base dugout for strike one, and the count is 0-1. Ruiz today is 0 for 1. He grounded to third his first time up. He's another switch hitter in the Nationals batting order. So Keibert Ruiz waits on the offering, and there's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven down the right field line. It's going to reach the empty seats just past the netting, and that's going to run the count to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Ruiz. Nationals with back-to-back walks to lead to begin the inning. Had something brewing here, but that double play by Josh Bell was huge. Again, Sergio Alcantara, a part of the defense big time today for the Diamondbacks. He's been involved in almost half of the outs. There is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-2. Alcantara, of the 11 outs, has 5 assists and 2 putouts. It's a pretty busy day for a third baseman at any level of play. Normally speaking, the more of the action is in the middle part of the park. Yeah, so here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that backs Ruiz off the plate. He has to skip rope to get out of the way. It's going to run the count to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ruiz gets himself back set in. He's got a slightly open stance on the right side against the lefty Bumgarner, and there's the fastball swung on. It's popped up. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate, and that's going to keep the count at 2-2. In some ways, you can see why maybe some major league teams, especially in the North, don't necessarily want to get the season going underway. We had that lockout. Obviously, there's a makeup game from yesterday, but a very sparsely attended crowd here today. And here comes the 2-2. There's a fastball swung on. It's going to reach the seats over on the first base side. I've seen spring training games with larger attendance than this one. Again, it was a makeup game, so not regularly scheduled in the afternoon. They're going to do a day-night doubleheader in Washington. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ruiz. Left-handed pitcher Bumgarner goes ready to go back to work. He gets his side from Herrera. He kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is going to do it for the Nationals in their half of the third inning. They threaten, but they do not score. There was no runs. There were no hits. There were no errors. And 1 runner left the board. We're now through 4 complete. It is the Arizona Diamondbacks 1, the Washington Nationals 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. The call of the top of the 5th inning. We're moving along pretty quick here. Here's our friend Steve Rademacher again. Be sure to check out his channel after the ball game.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
As always, appreciate you, Steve, and your support of our channel. We'll be back in just a moment after some of this. Welcome back, everybody. Josiah Gray is back on the hill here to start the 5th inning. He's going to face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the batting order for the Diamondbacks. That's Jose Herrera, Gerardo Perdomo, and Dalton Varsho to get things going. The first pitch from Gray is a breaking ball that is down and in, and the count is 1-0. For Herrera today, he is 0 for 1. He popped to second his first time up. He is still looking for his first hit of his season. He's 0 for 10 now. Gray gets the sign from his catcher Ruiz. He's ready to go back to work. There is a fastball that misses, but away, and the count now goes to 2-0. Gray, as we said in his last outing, this was the point in the ball game where he started to lose command of his pitches. So I'll be keeping an eye closely here. There's a fastball swung on it. It's popped up over on the left side. Moving underneath it is Ruiz, and he's going to make the catch. He had to battle the wind and battle the sun. At first, when the ball was popped up, it looked like it was going to be more playable for the third baseman who was coming in. Maikel Franco gave way easily to Ruiz, who caught it just outside of the dirt circle toward the third base side, and that is going to retire Herrera for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Geraldo Perdomo. For Perdomo today, he is 0 for 1. He struck out looking his first time up. Another switch hitter in the Diamondback batting order, and he takes a first pitch for a breaking ball for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Perdomo is another player who is struggling at the plate in the Diamondback lineup. He's batting 0-53 on the season. Gray rocks into the motion. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. Perdomo certainly had a case his last time up, as the pitch that was delivered to him was called a good half dozen inches off the plate. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. Gray rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. So I think maybe that might set him up. I'd be curious to see if he's going to deliver a fastball to the outside corner to see if he can induce Perdomo to swing, because of certainly the last time up, it was a pretty harsh pitch. Here comes the fastball, and it does miss off the outside corner. And that runs the count now to 2-2. Our friend Dexter Rojas, who's in the house here, says the Nats are going to win. Well, I would say this, Dexter, in my opinion, that the Diamondbacks have to pad on to this lead. As soon as the game gets into the bullpen, a 1-0 lead should switch the needle over to the Nats. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded foul over on the first base side. It's going to keep the count to 2-2. The Diamondbacks are not exactly an explosive offense. But then again, the Nationals are looking for their first hit of the ball game. That hasn't come yet. They have had some base runners, but nothing in terms of a base hit to get them on. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. There is a breaking ball that just misses down. Runs the count now to 3-2 to Perdomo. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. We do appreciate everybody who has stopped in to listen to the call today. Our game between the Diamondbacks and the Nationals. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Gray rocks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And Perdomo is retired on strikes for out number 2 here in the 5th inning. That's going to leave it up to the center fielder, Dalton Varsho. For Varsho today, he is 1 for 2. He is accounted for the only run in the ball game. He hit a home run to deep right center field his first time up that was able to get out. We didn't think off the crack of the bat that it was going to have enough legs to get out, but the wind is blowing out from home plate to right field, and it must have got caught up in the jet stream and went for a ride. So Varsho steps in. He bats from the left side against the right-handed throwing Gray, and here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Varsho has raised his season average up to 207 now. He's north of the proverbial Mendoza line. He's got a couple of homers and a couple RBIs. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-0. I am curious to see if Josiah Gray will make an appearance in the 6th inning. This is going to be pitch number 79. He left the last outing at around 80 pitches. We'll see if the Nats plan to stretch their young right-hander out a bit more. So here comes the 2-0 pitch. There is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-0. As we mentioned at the outset, walks have been the nemesis for Gray. During today's ball game, he had issued 5 free passes in 9 innings of work. Today, at this point, he has only issued 2, but here comes the 3-0 pitch to Varsho. It's a fastball that catches the inside corner. That runs the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Varsho. He's sitting on a specific pitch here, one would think, from Gray. Here comes the 3-1. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate. That now runs the count full to 3-2. Varsho gets himself dug back in. Right-hander Gray gets a new baseball as he rubs it up. And we're ready to go back to work. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Varsho. Gray gets the side from his catcher Ruiz. It looks like we're going to see another breaking ball. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And Varsho goes down on strikes. Gray was able to come all the way back from 3-0 to retire Varsho on strikes here for the 3rd out of the 5th inning. So for the Diamondbacks in their half of the 5th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is the Arizona Diamondbacks 1, the Washington Nationals nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the bottom of the 5th inning. We're glad you guys could be here with us. Here's our friend Dave again at Zero Fox Sports. Be sure to check his channel out after the game.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Thought Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We are cruising to the bottom half of the 5th inning. It's going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the Nationals batting order to face Madison Bumgarner. Mikael Franco, Lane Thomas, and Alcides Escobar will be entrusted to face the lefty Bumgarner, who is yet to allow a base hit in this ball game. He has walked 3 Nationals batters. Check that, 4 Nationals batters. But he has not allowed a single hit yet. So here comes the first pitch to Franco. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. As I suggested in the last inning, I'm curious to see how far this leash on Bumgarner is going to be. His velocity, he's now sitting at about 87 miles an hour with his fastball. And there's a breaking ball that's swung on and fouled away. The count is 0-2. He began the ball game. He was touching 91. He was sitting at 89, 90, but his velocity has started to drop off a bit here. He does not have the power arm that he used to have a few years ago when he was with the San Francisco Giants. He relies on changing speeds and hitting spots. So here comes the 0-2 pitch to Franco as he rocks into the motion and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It's going to reach the seats. Foul behind the first base dugout. The count is 0-2. Although you have to say, when it comes to a big game situation, you would probably want him on the mound. Bumgarner, that would be, as he is a KG veteran. Here he rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. That's going to reach the seats down the third baseline. Keeps the count at 0 balls and 2 strikes to Franco. Franco today was one of the recipients of a base on ball. He walked his first time up. He's batting .275 on the season. It's the second time today Bumgarner has started his windup, and then he had to stop. He lost his footing. It looked like he got his cleats caught in the dirt. So here he goes back to work. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and there's a fastball that is swung on upstairs. Franco is retired for the first out of the inning. 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Lane Thomas. Lane Thomas today is 0 for 1. He grounded out to third base his first time up. Thomas came over last season, a trade with the St. Louis Cardinals that sent John Lester the other way. The first pitch to Thomas is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. Thomas getting a chance to be a regular, or potentially to be a regular in Washington. He came over in that trade last year, and he did pretty well for the Nats, so there was something to get excited about. It was a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-1. Thomas last year, after the trade from St. Louis, hit .270 for the Nats. He hit 7 homers and 27 runs batted in. He did steal a few bases, but he's going to get that opportunity to play here every day, but he's going to have to show some production. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. Bumgarner rocks into the motion. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to the left fielder, Lane Thomas. Just as we don't suspect we're going to see Josiah Gray for much longer, I would say the same for Bumgarner. And there's a fastball taken at the knees for a called third strike. Thomas stands there like the house by the side of the road and watches it go by for out number 2. And that is going to bring up the shortstop, Alcides Escobar. So 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning, both via the strikeout. 1 swinging and 1 looking. Now Escobar steps to the plate. He is officially 0 for 0 today. He walked in the 3rd inning, but he was caught stealing. He was caught stealing 3rd for the 3rd out of the inning. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Escobar. The sunlight has gone away again in Washington. A lot of cloud cover in the area. It's ebbs and flows. It comes and goes. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. Runs the count now to 1-1 to Escobar. Escobar is getting a chance to play shortstop. When he was in Japan, they had him playing quite a bit of third base for the Swallows. And here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. It has popped up on the right side of the infield. It's in shallow right field. Moving over underneath it is Ketel Marte, and he drops the ball. And Ketel Marte drops a relatively routine pop-up. And that is going to allow Escobar to reach base. And he is aboard as the runner at first. Marte coming underneath it, hit him right in the heel of the glove. And then he was not able to hang on, and that is going to be an error charged to the second baseman. So Escobar is going to reach base. I will say this, when we talk about shoddy play, Alcides Escobar is a veteran. On a pop-up in the infield, you want to see those guys digging hard out of the box to second base. And he was casually jogging to first base, and that is where he ends up. He was not hustling out of the box. And now there's a fastball that is swung on and popped up by Robles. And this ball is going to reach the seats about 10 rows behind the Nationals dugout. And that is just going to be strike 1. But certainly, absolutely, that was definitely something that Alcides Escobar was not hustling out of the box. If he would have rounded first base and he needed to be digging hard for 2, he should be standing on second base. That's a cardinal sin. So here comes the 0-1 pitch from Bumgarner. It's a breaking ball. It's taken for a called strike. The count is now 0-2. So Jimmy Redbeard back in the house. We appreciate you being here, Jimmy. No balls and 2 strikes to Robles. It just added a few extra pitches to the pitch count of Bumgarner. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-2. So Bumgarner, who is yet to allow a batter to get a base knock off of him, is about to deliver his 78th pitch of the ball game. He could have been out of here with 4 less pitches. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is smashed down the left field line, and it is trouble. It bounces. It's into the corner. Digging for third is Escobar. Heading home. Here's the throw to the plate. It's going to be cut off, and that's going to be an RBI single. Check that, an RBI double for Robles, as Escobar comes all the way around from first base to score a run. And that is going to tie the ball game up here at 1. The RBI double by Robles, and it really should be a 1-0 game going to the 6th, as that pop fly now has come back to haunt the Arizona Diamondbacks. So for those Diamondback fans that are in here, if you are listening, you can feel your pain. That should have been an automatic out by Ketel Marte. The inning should be done, and now the Diamondbacks have been made to pay. And here's the top of the order, Cesar Hernandez, who takes a fastball low for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. For Hernandez, today he is 0 for 2. He's grounded to third and struck out in his 2 times to the plate. And here comes the offering from Bumgarner. It's a fastball swung on, and this ball is belted down the left field line. It's fair. Rounding second and heading home is Robles. And playing it off of the wall is the left fielder, McCarthy. Check that, Peralta. Cesar Hernandez has himself an RBI double. Now we've got the manager for the Diamondbacks who's coming out to talk to the home plate umpire, Nea, about something. It's a double and an RBI, so I think he may be coming out and asking for some help about some maybe fan interference. So he's talking to Nick Lenz now, who is the third base umpire. Check that. It's actually, Lenz is not involved in this conversation. It is the crew chief. The crew chief for this ball game here today is Lance Barksdale, who's working second base. So I wonder if the Diamondbacks have seen something different. That certainly didn't look like it was a foul ball. It looked like it was right down the line. So I don't know what he's talking about right now, other than maybe some interference as the ball had hit that wall and bounced back. Bumgarner is now over talking to the third base umpire. But the frustration for the Diamondbacks is boiling over a little bit, as the drop pop fly by Ketel Marte would have ended the inning, and now it is a 2-1 ball game. After back-to-back doubles here in the 5th inning. It looks like it may have possibly, we have to see that again. That ball there was ruled fair, but the third base umpire, as we look at it again, he was almost hit by the ball. So I think what they're arguing about whether the ball was even fair or foul. As we said, Nick Lentz has been a very busy man at third base. There's a fastball that misses up and into Soto, and the count is 1-0. So the runner at second is Hernandez. The scoreline is now in favor of the Nationals. It's 2-1. And here comes the 1-0 pitch to Soto as Bumgarner steps off and then resets himself. So here we go back for the 1-0. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So the argument had to be over the ground ball that was down the left field line. There is now action in the Diamondback bullpen. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It's tapped slowly over to third. It's fielded by Alcantara. He fires to first, and that's going to retire Soto on a ground out, 5-3 to end the inning. But there was damage done. Everything happened after the 2-out error by Marte. There were 2 runs in the inning. There were 2 hits. There was 1 error and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 5 complete. It is the Washington Nationals 2, the Arizona Diamondbacks 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with all the action in just a couple moments, our friend Vivid Life is fist pumping that one for sure. He called a Nationals win today. We'll be back in just a couple minutes, everybody. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher again. Hold tight. We'll be back after this.
Hello, friends. Steve coming back at you, a clean-shaven Steve. Thank you for watching The Last Raps Baseball. And please continue to support my channel among others, like Another Hollis Build. Awesome commercial. And now I'll show you a few more things that we do have. We have toys, like this bobblehead Star Wars on wheels. We have Noids. We can't keep avoiding them forever. We do have Legos. Love my Legos. We have Origami Folder. Check him out. He's new into this, getting started, has good following already. We have Red Beard Breaks. And we also have these things that, in a pinch, will tell you what your temperature is. So, if you like all of this, and if you like Last Raps Baseball, join all of us. We'd love to have you. And I know you would enjoy us. Thank you, peace, good night, and cheers.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the sixth inning. It is a change there in the bottom of the fifth. The scoreline for the Washington Nationals has written reverse. They were down 1-0, and it looked like Madison Bumgarner was off to finish an easy fifth inning. He struck out the first two batters he faced, and then they had a pop-up. It was dropped by Ketel Marte. And they ended up paying for that, did the Diamondbacks, as 2 runs were cashed on back-to-back doubles. And so here we are back to the live action as Josiah Gray comes back to the mound. And he delivers a first pitch breaking ball to Ketel Marte for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Marte, Peralta, and Beer here for the Diamondbacks in their half of the sixth inning. Gray kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Ketel Marte. One would have to think this is going to be the last inning of work for Josiah Gray. And here comes the 0-2 pitch to Marte. He rocks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Marte's average has slipped to 200 on the season, with the strikeout and the flyout to right field in his 2 trips to the plate. Once it gets into the battle of the bullpens, one would think that the Nationals would be in favor at this point. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. Sean Doolittle is stretching himself out. One would think that Gray will probably finish this inning of work, unless he gets himself into a little bit of trouble, but Doolittle is getting himself loose. We would expect to see him in the 7th inning. So Gray ready to go back to work. He gets the sign from his catcher, Ruiz. He delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up over into left field. Moving over underneath it is Lane Thomas. He's going to make the catch. He does that all the while the sun was starting to reappear. Makes it a bit of a challenge. It was behind the clouds, and right in the middle of the fly ball, the sun starts coming out. That is going to retire Marte for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up David Peralta. For Peralta today, he is 1 for 1. He doubled and was caught stealing his last time up. He's also walked. We do have a visit from the manager. That could be it for Josiah Gray. They are going to remove Gray at 87 pitches here in the 6th inning. And he's going to get himself an ovation from the crowd that is in the stands in Washington today. It looks like it's Friends and Family Day in Washington. But that is going to be it. We are going to have ourselves a pitching change, and we'll get you that when we come back. It is 2-1 for the Nationals here in the 6th inning. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Here is our friend Dave again.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Thought Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month. announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving into we're still in the sixth inning here, and it is going to be a pitching change for the Washington Nationals. Now coming on in relief is a lefty. This is going to be Sean Doolittle. He is going to be taking over for Josiah Gray today, who had himself a pretty steady start. Gray today, the final line is in on him as he was able to go 5 1/3 innings. He only allowed 3 hits. He gave up 1 run. It was earned. He walked 2 and struck out 8. Arguably his best pitching performance of the season. At his breaking balls, breaking as fastballs, doing much better. He entered the game, as we said today earlier, with 9 innings pitched and had walked 5, so he was able to cut down on his walks. He did a much better job of attacking hitters. So Gray is now finished, and Sean Doolittle on in relief. Doolittle is making his 6th appearance in the early season. He's worked 4 2/3 innings. He's walked none and struck out 6. He is a workhorse. This is his 4th organization and the 2nd time with the Nationals. And here comes the first pitch to David Peralta. He takes it for a fastball for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Peralta today is 1 for 1. He doubled. He was caught stealing his last time up. He's also drawn a walk. So Doolittle working from the stretch position with nobody on. He holds at the chest and he kicks and fires. There is a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. And the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to David Peralta. As we said, Doolittle in his 4th organization had some success. Of course, he was a World Series champion with the Nationals. He's a 2-time All-Star. He was an All-Star with Oakland back a number of years ago in 2014, and he repeated the feat with the Nats in 2018. There's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-2 to Peralta. Doolittle, over the course of his career, he's been a big leaguer for 11 seasons. He's won more than he's lost. He's 26-24 in his career. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into deep right field. Moving back on the edge of the warning track and backpedaling now is Juan Soto. He makes the catch, and that is going to retire Peralta for out number 2. And that's going to leave it all up to the first baseman, Seth Beer. We'll see if they're going to let Beer hit. And they are for sure. Beer is one of the hottest hitters in the Arizona batting order. Although today he is 0 for 2. He is struck out both times up. Beer entered today hitting .381. His average has slipped to .348. He bats from the left side against the lefty Doolittle. He holds at the chest. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. Is driven into deep right center field. And that ball is going to get down. It's off the wall. It's played by Robles. And Beer is going to cruise into second base with a stand-up 2-out double. And that is going to keep things going here for the Diamondbacks in their half of the 6th inning. That is going to bring up the designated hitter, Cooper. Ball was absolutely scorched by Beer. A 2-out double. Something brewing here for the Diamondbacks. Hummel will be batting from the right side for the first time today. He is a switch hitter, a number in the lineup for the Diamondbacks today. There was a fastball that misses up. The count is 1-0 to Hummel. Hummel is seen his average slip to 118 today. As we said, there's a lot of ugly numbers in the Diamondback batting order. So here comes the 1-0 pitch from Doolittle. He kicks and fires. There is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0. Should Hummel reach successfully, it'll be Jake McCarthy waiting his turn on deck. This is going to be a bit of a chess game here. For both of these two teams, we would expect a lot of matchups. And the pitching parade to begin for the Diamondbacks shortly as well, now that Josiah Gray is out of the game for Washington. And asking for time is Hummel at the plate as he feels that Doolittle has taken up too much of his time. As we said, our friend Vivid Life, who was listening in here, feels that the momentum that the Nationals had in that last inning should be able to carry them. It's certainly the needle would swing in their favor, and there's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. That runs the count to 2-1, and Hummel sure wasn't impressed with that pitch. It looked like that was 3-0 right there to me, and I'm not a Diamondback supporter. That pitch looked like it was way up and out of the zone. Hummel couldn't believe it. But that's what you get when you have a veteran lefty like Doolittle on the mound and the batter Hummel at the plate. Sometimes the veterans will get the call they maybe don't necessarily always deserve, but they've earned because of their time in the big leagues. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. Doolittle checks the runner at second. And he kicks and fires. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to left field. Coming over toward the foul line is the left fielder, Lane Thomas. He's got room. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it here in the sixth inning for the Diamondbacks. So for Arizona in their half of the sixth inning, there was no runs, there was one hit, no errors, and one runner left aboard. We are now through 5.5 innings. It is the Washington Nationals 2, the Arizona Diamondbacks 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back for the bottom of the sixth inning after we return from this. We're glad you guys could check us out today. Here again is our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the sixth inning. It's going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the Nationals batting order to get things going for them in their half of the sixth inning. It'll be Nelson Cruz, Josh Bell, and Kybert Ruiz. And they will be facing a reliever here for the Diamondbacks, and we're going to get you all the specs on this fella. It's our first look at J.B. Wendelken. He was acquired last year from the Oakland Athletics. Split time between the two organizations. But he is taking over now for Madison Bumgarner. So Wendelken on the hill. And he is going to be taking over for Bumgarner. A little bit harsh for Bumgarner as he gave up those 2 runs. And in some ways, he probably should not have done that if they would have had the 3rd out of the inning. And there's a first pitch fastball at 94 miles an hour that misses upstairs. And the count is 1-0 to Nelson Cruz. Cruz today is 0 for 1. He struck out in the first and walked in the fourth. He waits on the offering from the right-hander Wendelken, who holds at the belt. He kicks and he fires. There is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into left field. It's going to be a leadoff single here in the 6th for Nelson Cruz. And that is going to bring up the first baseman, Josh Bell. For Bell today, he is 0 for 2. He's grounded to third, and he also grounded into a double play. 5-3. He is going to be batting for the left-hand side for the first time today, as he is a switch hitter. So Bell steps up to the plate. His average has slipped to .333 on the young season. He's waiting on the first offering from Wendelken, who kicks and fires. It's a 93-mile-an-hour fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. There's nothing more that will drive managers crazy as relievers who come into the game and can't get ahead on strikes. That's what's happened here on the first 2 offerings to the first 2 hitters of this inning. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. There is a changeup that's swung on. It's lifted into shallow center field. It's going to get down in front of the center fielder Varsho, and just like that, the Nationals have something brewing here in their half of the 6th inning. Back-to-back singles, and that's going to bring up the catcher Keibert Ruiz. So this game that was pretty much in check for 4 2/3 innings for the Diamondbacks has now started to change a little bit. Bumgarner did not even allow a hit for 4 2/3 innings. After that routine pop-up, that changed the momentum, and now we have 4 hits from the last 5 batters to step to the plate for the Nats. So Ruiz steps to the plate, batting from the left side for the first time today. And here comes the first pitch from Wendelken. It is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So the same pattern continues. Each of the hitters took a fastball outside, and then they deposited base hits. Did Cruz and Bell, and that's what Ruiz is looking to do here. So 1 ball and no strikes to Ruiz. He gets himself back in the batter's box after making a couple of adjustments. Delkin gets the sign from his catcher, and he's ready to go back to work. He holds at the belt. He kicks and he fires. There's a fastball that misses outside. That is dropped by the catcher, Herrera. We've noticed that a couple of times today that Herrera has dropped some balls. Maybe because of the cold weather in Washington, I don't know. Players that are playing in the field, some of that there. Living room pops in. We've got the living room in the house today. There's a fastball. It's lined back to the pitcher. Caught by Wendelken over to first. It's going to be a double play. He had a shot maybe at all 3 of the runners, but Nelson Cruz held his ground. Keibert Ruiz hit the ball on the screws. He hits into a double play. That's going to be a 1-3 double play. Cruz was not as far off the base as Josh Bell was. Bell is going to be retired for out number 2. And just like that, the threat is not as ominous as it was. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Maikel Franco. So our friend Living Room asks, will Miggy break 3,000 against the Yankees? There's a very good chance at that. There's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner, and the count is 0-1. Miggy is only a few hits away from joining the 3,000 hit club. One would like to see that happen if you're a Detroit Tiger fan or just a fan of baseball in general. There is action in the Washington bullpen as Steve Cishek, the sidewinder, is up and throwing. So Wendelken gets the aside from his catcher, but now the third baseman who's hitting here, Maikel Franco, has asked for time. He steps out of the batter's box. Now we're ready to go back at this again. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Wendelken holds at the belt. He kicks and fires. There is a fastball swung on. It's grounded into center field. Coming hard is Varsho. There's going to be a throw to the plate. Here comes the throw. It's offline. Sliding in safely is Nelson Cruz. That's an RBI single for Maikel Franco. That is going to extend the Washington lead to 3-1. So Cruz comes around to score. It'll be a single, and Franco advancing to second on the throw. So that now is a 3-1 Washington lead. That's going to bring up the left fielder, Lane Thomas. Varsho had to come a long way. I'm not so sure that was even the right decision to throw home. I realize that Nelson Cruz is not a fast runner, but how far Varsho had to come. He then, with the throw, overthrows the cut. A good read by the base runner, Franco, to get to second base. There's a fastball delivered to Lane Thomas. It misses upstairs for ball one. Count is 1-0. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. There is a changeup that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So one would have had to think if Varsho just would have ate it or maybe just thrown it and hit the cut. That runner is at first base right now. Actually, there is the runner at first, but they had Franco over at second, so I stand corrected on that. Apologies for those of you who are listening in. They have Franco over at first. At first, they had him at second base. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to run the count now to 2-1. Looked like that he had made his way all the way over. That throw did come through. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch from Wendelken. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses down. That runs the count now to 2-1. So the runner at first is Maikel Franco. The batter at the plate is Lane Thomas. And here comes the delivery from Wendelken. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to run the count now to full, 3-2. Wendelken, like the other arms on the mound, is blowing on his hands. This is a cold day in Washington. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Living Room asks, what do you think will happen after Miggy gets his final $16 million next season? I think it's more than that. And there's a fastball that's taken for a called third strike. That is going to retire Thomas for the third out of the inning, but there was damage here in the 6th. We'll come back and talk to the chat in just a couple of minutes. There was 1 run in the inning. There were 2 hits. Check that, 3 hits. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 6 complete. It is the Washington Nationals 3, the Arizona Diamondbacks 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with the call. The top of the 7th inning when we return. Glad you guys are with us.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve. That's Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to go over and check out his channel. He's got all kinds of crazy stuff, and he's very, very entertaining. Again, that's Steve Rademacher. He is got all kinds of stuff, including Money Monday, Takeover Tuesday. He's got his No Filter Friday and his Saturday morning cartoons. Something for everyone. That is his channel after the game. We are now moving to the top of the 7th inning. It is going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters coming up for the Arizona Diamondbacks in their half of the inning. It'll be Jake McCarthy, Sergio Alcantara, and Jose Herrera. There is a pitching change for the Nats. It's going to be Steve Cishek who enters into the game. Cishek is a sidewinder who has began his career back with the Marlins a number of years ago, and he is now on in relief. So Cishek placing Sean Doolittle. He's the third pitcher of the ball game for the Washington Nationals. There is a fastball that misses inside, and the count is quickly 1-0 to McCarthy. Cishek has made his major league debut all the way back in 2010. He's kind of one of those pitchers everybody loves to have, and then when they can't wait to get rid of him. Fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. Cishek has spent time with the Marlins, the Cubs, the Mariners, the Rays, the Cardinals, the Angels, and the White Sox. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that is tipped. And the count is now 2-1 tipped right into the mid of the catcher Ruiz. For McCarthy today, he is 1 for 2. He grounded out his first time up. It was an attempted bunt. And there's a fastball swung on and missed. The count goes to 2-2. He also singled in the 4th inning. So McCarthy is 1 for 2. He's raised his season average up to 143. Just to go back to the question that Living Room asked at the end of the 6th inning about Miggy, certainly Miguel Cabrera's got a chance. There's a fastball that swung on, and this ball is going to be hooked foul. And that is going to keep the count at 2-2. I would say that the series against the Yankees, it would be quite something if he could do that. Miguel Cabrera, of course, for hit number 3,000. I don't think he seems to be as stressed out over this as he was over his 500th home run. So here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Cishek catches the outside corner, and McCarthy stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 1. That is going to do it for him here in the 7th inning. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Sergio Alcantara. It is a knee buckling contract that Cabrera has. It's not $16 million that they're going to owe him for next year. They're on the hook for a little bit more than that. There was a first pitch fastball delivered to Alcantara, taken for a called strike. It is 0-1. Next season, the Tigers are on the hook for $32 million. There is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2 to Alcantara. He's also on the hook for 2024 and 2025. And those years, it's supposed to be at $30 million, so he's on the hook for a couple of more years after this. He could be a free agent in 2024. There are some options to those contracts. So 1-2 strikes to Alcantara. And here's the pitch from Cishek. It's a fastball swung on. It's going to be lifted into the seats over on the third base side. So the reason for that, it's a bit of a vesting option. The option is if Cabrera finishes in the top 10 of MVP voting in 2023 and 2024, those are vesting options. So the likelihood of him doing that, not very good, but the baseball writers who are controlling the vote, you never know. A couple people toss a vote his way. Usually the first 7, 8 guys in the balloting get votes, and then after that, there's not too much. So anybody from an opposing team in the Central Division decides to drop a couple of votes for Miggy. There's a fastball swung on. This is lift into the right center field. Coming underneath it is the right fielder Soto, but he yields way to Robles. He lost that one in the sun, and Robles is going to make the catch. That's going to retire Alcantara for the second out. The right fielder Soto looked like he was camping out underneath it, and then he turtled backwards as he lost it in the sun, and Robles was able to make the grab. It is a tough sun field today when the sun is out. It is a mostly cloudy day in Washington. When the sun comes out, the players have been battling it for sure. And here comes the first pitch delivered to Jose Herrera, and it's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Herrera. Cishek ready to go back to work. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and now the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Cishek gets the sign, goes back to work, and he delivers a fastball for a ball that just misses outside. The count goes to 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Herrera. Cishek has come in and has done his job very effectively so far here. He's looking to retire the side, and there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted foul just down the right field line. It was absolutely scorched. Herrera was way out in front of it, and that's going to run the count still to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just as a reminder, tomorrow we'll be on the airwaves of YouTube again, as we'll be calling the Milwaukee Brewers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. There are some people that believe we are a curse to the Brewers, as every time we call their game, they don't seem to win. There is a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Herrera stands there like the house by the side of the road, and he watches it go by for out number 3. That is going to do it here for the Diamondbacks and their half of the 7th inning. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 6.5. It is the Washington Nationals 3, the Arizona Diamondbacks 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back for more action in just a couple minutes. Glad you guys could be with us here this afternoon for some afternoon baseball. For those of you who join us late night on the weekends, we do call the Japanese games. Here are some of our Japanese Hall of Fame memories that you'll see on the weekend.
Everybody, thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave's Zero Thought Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered, and we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It is a 3-1 Washington lead over the Arizona Diamondbacks. And it is scheduled to come to bat. This inning is Alcides Escobar, Victor Robles, and Cesar Hernandez. The right-hander J.B. Wendelken is still on the mound for the Diamondbacks. There was a first pitch fastball that swung on and missed. Count quickly goes to 0-1 to Escobar. Escobar was the recipient of that drop pop-up by Ketel Marti back in the 5th inning. He's also walked, so he scored the first run for the Nationals. And here comes the pitch from Wendelken. It is a fastball that misses inside. The count is 1-1. There is action in the bullpen as Oliver Perez is getting heated up quickly. You have a left-hander getting ready to go. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that is swung on. It is popped up over on the first base side, but it's going to reach the seats. It's going to run the count now to 1-2 to Escobar. Our friend Living Room says, we're even a fan-controlled football league. Says they like to see a cover of the USFL, CFL, or an X League game. I don't know if that's in our future. The calling football, you better be prepared. Not just the calling baseball, you better be prepared, but you better be prepared in football. There's so many other moving parts. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away. The count is 1-2. When you listen to a guy like Tony Romo do the color commentating, what makes him very effective is that they get the meetings with the teams before that they cover them during the week. So they do have some, I don't want to say some inside information, but they definitely have some stuff that they can talk about because there's obviously the tendencies that some of the teams will have. So being at practice and listening to the coaches and how they're preparing can give you some greater insight. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away right off the mask of the catcher Herrera, and the count is 1-2. The Nationals also have action in their bullpen. Finnegan is up and throwing for them. So one would expect that Wendelken is not going to be here long, and one would also expect that Cishek's day is done. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded up the middle. It's fielded by Marte on the left side of second base. He has to throw across his body, and that is going to retire Escobar. It goes down as a ground ball, 4-3, or a ground out, 4-3 for out number 1. That is going to bring up the center fielder, Victor Robles. It's a nice play there by Marte, making up for the error that he made a couple of innings ago. That is what has put the Diamondbacks in a hole, a team that's not necessarily very, what we would call offensive, needs all the help they can get with the pitching in the D. And there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Victor Robles. Robles today is 1 for 1. He had a sacrifice bunt back in the 3rd inning. He doubled and knocked home a run in the 5th. He's also scored a run himself. He's raised his season average up to 0.87. You got that right. 0.87. There's a fastball swung on. It's fouled away down the left field line, and the count goes now to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. The sunlight is making more consistent appearances now in Washington, but the weather is still the same. It's pretty chilly. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It's tapped in front of the plate. It's fielded by Herrera. He picks it up. And he throws on the run, does the catcher, and that is going to retire Robles. It was like a swinging bunt down the first base line. That's going to go down as a ground out, 2-3 for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the top of the batting order, Cesar Hernandez. Hernandez is 1 for 3 today. He doubled his last time up and knocked a run in. He's got his average up to 265 on the young campaign. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is 0-1 for J.P. Wendelken. He's really settled down here in his 2nd inning of work. Vivid Life said the Golden Eagles losing last night was a shocker in the NPB. Yeah, I took a peek at that game last night. There was a fastball that swung on and missed. Looked at it this morning. I actually thought about even staying up a little bit late night to do a game last night for some reason. We just had some time on the schedule, and I thought, well, maybe we'll try to endure it, but couldn't get it done. Had an early dinner, got to bed early, but wasn't able to get up to prepare myself properly for that game. There was a breaking ball that misses The count now goes to 1-2. So 1-2 strikes. We will be doing some more Japanese baseball this weekend. It'll be the Sunday games, or a Sunday game. It'll be the Saturday in North America on the West Coast. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2 to Hernandez. Of course, the Japanese Baseball League is in full swing right now. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles are battling for the top spot with the first place Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks in the Pacific League. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is popped up into shallow center field. Moving over to his left is Dalton Varsho. He's going to make the catch. That is going to do it here for the Nationals in their half of the seventh inning. For Washington, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 7 complete. It is Washington 3, Arizona 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the call. The top of the 8th inning after this. We're glad you guys could be with us here today. Here is our friend Matt again.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top half of the 8th inning. It is going to be the 9 1-2 hitters coming up to bat for the Arizona Diamondbacks. That means Geraldo Perdomo, Dalton Varsho, and Ketel Marte. They're going to be facing yet another Washington reliever. And this time it is going to be the right-hander Finnegan coming in. It's Brandon Finnegan, as he takes over here for his first duty of action. He's completing his warm-up tosses. Finnegan on the season this year appeared in, this will be his 6th game. He's thrown 4 innings. He's allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, all of which have been earned. He's walked 3 and struck out 3. He's getting the opportunity here in the 8th inning to slam the door, or to keep the door closed on the Diamondbacks. We are going to have a pinch hitter for Perdomo. This is going to be Pavin Smith, as he is going to step up to the plate to hit for Perdomo. So the left-handed batting Smith, who on the season is only hitting 160, takes a fastball inside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. He's got no homers and no RBIs. As we said, there are some pretty ugly batting averages for the Diamondbacks. They bring players off the bench, and their numbers are not any more eye-popping than the ones in the starting lineup today. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. You expect there is some chess match type stuff going on here between now and the end of the ball game. The turning point in the game was that drop pop-up by Ketel Marte that would have ended the inning back in the 5th for the Nationals, but instead it ended up accounting for 2 runs. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. That last pitch by Finnegan had a little bit of sink to it. So 2 balls and 1 strike. It was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. And here comes the pitch. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count runs now to 3-1 on Smith. So as a reminder, tomorrow we'll be back at it again when we do the Pirates and the Brewers. And on Thursday, we've got the Yankees and the Tigers, and then the Cubs and the Pirates on Friday. So you can be here with us for them all. There's a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the first base side. That runs the count to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Pavin Smith. Finnegan gets the sign from his catcher, Ruiz. He's ready to go back to work. He holds at the chest. He kicks and fires. It is a fastball that misses down. And Smith is aboard with a leadoff walk here to start the 8th inning. That is going to bring the tying run to the plate in Dalton Varsho. For Varsho today, he is 1 for 3. He homered and knocked a run in the 3rd. He's flown to right and struck out his other 2 times up. He's accounted for the only Nationals run today. So 1 for 3 is the hitter Varsho. Finnegan holds set at the chest, and he's ready to come back to work. He kicks and fires. It is a fastball swung on. It's grounded slowly over to second. It's fielded neatly by Hernandez. Over to second for 1, back to first. And that is a double play. That's going to go in the books as a 4-6-3 double play as Varsho is retired on the backside. So Smith retired at second, Varsho by a half step at first, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Ketel Marte. For Marte, he is 0 for 3 today. He has struck out. He's flown to right and flown to left. He bats from the left side against the right-hander Finnegan. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball at 95 miles an hour that he swings on. It misses. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Marte. Finnegan leans in. He gets the sign from his catcher, Ruiz. He's ready to go back to work. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball taken at the knees at 96 for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. You got to tip your hat to Finnegan. He is really, really spotting up those low pitches right at the knees. You can make a lot of money if you live there regular. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. Finnegan holds, he kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. Wouldn't be surprised if he walks the ladder a little bit up on him before he comes back down again to try to put Ketel Marte away. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. He holds at the chest. And he kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. Its tap foul over on the first base side. Keeps the count at 1-2 on Marte. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. We do want to, again, acknowledge everybody who is listening on both YouTube and Twitch for us today. We thank you all for joining us. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Finnegan holds set at the chest. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on, and this is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats behind third base, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Washington offense has just been a little bit better today than the Arizona offense. I say that because neither of these two teams look like they are threats to put up a pile of runs on the board. cold weather coupled with some good pitching today from both teams. It's been a couple of mistakes defensively, and there's a fastball that swung on and missed. Marte is retired for the third out of the inning, and is going to do it here for the Diamondbacks in their half of the eighth. They had no runs. There were no hits. There were no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 7.5. It is the Washington Nationals 3, the Arizona Diamondbacks 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the eighth inning. Just a couple moments. I'm glad you guys are with us here today, that you're sticking it out. It is a cold one in Washington. Hold tight. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. There is a pitching change for the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're calling on the grizzled veteran Oliver Perez, the left-hander, coming in to replace J.B. Wendelken, who came on in relief of Madison Bumgarner. And so he is going to be taking over here in the bottom of the eighth inning, and he is going to be facing Juan Soto, Nelson Cruz, and Josh Bell. Not an easy group to face. Just a quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard. There's only one other game underway. The San Francisco Giants now have a 2-1 lead over the New York Mets. And Peterson for the Giants, Jock Peterson, that is, hit a home run for the Giants in the second inning. They also scratched out a run as Estrada was driven home by the third baseman Vossler. So the first pitch from Perez is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. They have moved Sergio Alcantara over to the shortstop position. And Hernandez is now in the game at third. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1 on Soto. So 1 ball and 1 strike. New York Mets run was accounted for by Ketel Marte, as he scored the only run so far for the Mets. They are down 2-1. And there is a fastball that comes in and has hit Soto, and he is walking gingerly to first base as he has taken that one off the back of the right tricep. So he is going to be the runner at first, and that is going to bring up Nelson Cruz to the plate. So a little friendly reminder to Juan Soto, as they've got to play a second end of this doubleheader tonight. It's tough to play sometimes when you're getting beat up and hit by pitches and all the rest of that stuff, but definitely here, it's exactly what happened to Soto. And here comes the pitch from Perez to Nelson Cruz. He takes a breaking ball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Cruz today is 1 for 2. He singled, he's walked, and he has scored a run. Here comes the 0-1. It's a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. He'll be followed by the hot-hitting Josh Bell, who's waiting his turn on deck. So here's the 0-2 to Nelly Cruz. It's a breaking ball that misses down. That runs the count now to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And we got something going on here as the manager for the Nationals, is Dave Martinez, has come out of the dugout. And he's wanting some help over here. I'm not sure what they're asking for. I can see what they're asking for. They think that the batter, Nelson Cruz, has been hit by the pitch. They are going to challenge this. I'm taking a quick peek at this, and I'm not sure that I necessarily agree. This might be a quick call. We're going to get a look at the replay ourselves on this. The first one we saw, it looked like that it didn't get him. Maybe we got a different angle here. That last pitch was a breaking ball down. It hit into the dirt. But I don't think it caught Cruz. We got a different angle here. And I still don't think it hit Cruz. Maybe worthy of a challenge. You could put runners at first and second with nobody out and bring up the hot-hitting Josh Bell. Now, granted, if the ball hits the ground and does hit the batter, he would be awarded the base. But I'm not seeing that it actually hit him here. They're saying that it possibly did. Back in the old days, the players used to put shoe polish on their shoes before the game. And you could always check it for polish. But in this situation, that didn't occur, and that is 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we wait for the call to be overturned. Oliver Perez is waiting patiently on the mound, or if it is going to be upheld, we're waiting from the second base umpire, Lance Barksdale, to give us the determination here. Barksdale is getting the information from New York before he delivers it to the crowd and everybody else listening in. And what do we got here, Lance? And that is the ruling stands. I didn't think it hit him. I don't know what the Nationals saw that we didn't see. That's going to make the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So far today on the challenges, we are 2 for 2. We made both of our calls correct. Didn't think that they were going to happen. So there is a breaking ball delivered to Nelson Cruz. It is fouled away, but the home plate umpire, Nestor Saya, says that the catcher for the Diamondbacks has interfered with Nelson Cruz. And that is going to award Cruz first base. And now the manager from the Diamondbacks is coming out of the dugout. So we're going to take a look right here. And I don't see it, but he immediately did the home plate umpire. He pointed to the catcher, saying that it was catcher's interference. I don't think that has happened. So maybe if there's challenges left for the Diamondbacks, the catcher is vehemently upset. We're going to take a look here on the replay, and it wasn't even close. So got ourselves a very entertaining, and back again here we go to the replay. One would have to think that Nelly Cruz is going to be hauled back to the plate as they are back into the replay booth. Maybe they've got to get a few more extra commercials in. Got to pay the bills somehow when you've only got 5,000 fans in the seats. I don't have the official attendance yet. We'll see if it's come up yet. And when that happens, we'll share it with you. But we're looking for the attendance as of right now. We don't have a attendance yet at Nationals Park. So Barksdale on the phone. That wasn't even close. So I don't know what home plate umpire Nestor said, but he immediately made the call, indicating that it was catcher interference. So they are going to take a look at this. Nelly Cruz has got a good chuckle out of it. The home plate umpire immediately stepped out from behind the plate, pointing down at the catcher. So this one here should be another quick overturn or another quick rule. We'll see if we're going to go 3 for 3 today. Herrera returns to the plate. Diamondbacks are waiting on their challenge result. So 2 challenges on back-to-back pitches. You don't see that very often. Nelson Cruz kind of had a chuckle. He's walking to first base. He's like, I don't know. But it's definitely the catcher. Catcher was not even close. Diamondbacks, it's not a great day for them today. And we're still waiting. I don't know what we're waiting for, but here comes the call back to Lance Barksdale, and he's ready to give his call to everybody. So Barksdale has made his announcement on the challenge. And it looks like that they are going to have the Nelson Cruz. Where is Nelson? Is he coming back to the plate or is he coming back to first base? But we're going to watch that again as we take a look at it. I don't know what they saw there. Maybe they felt it was a hit by pitch. We're going to take a look at that again. But absolutely unbelievable. They do rule it as catcher's interference. There are runners at first and second. It's going to go as an error on the catcher. That brings up Josh Bell to the plate with runners on first and second and nobody out. I had to watch that replay probably a half dozen times, and I still don't see where the catcher's interference took place. But obviously the plate umpire and the umpires in the war room saw something different. That's what happened. That's what counts. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted into shallow right field. It's going to get down. It's in front of the right fielder, Jake McCarthy, and that is going to bring Juan Soto around to score. So a single and an RBI for Josh Bell. And that is going to improve the scoreline to 4-1 for the Nationals here in their half of the 8th inning. That's going to bring up the catcher, Keibert Ruiz. Well, for the one person who stuck around for this one, we had a lot of people in here listening early on. Now that this game is starting to get pulled apart, we are seeing some people drop off in here, but we do appreciate everybody who's been in here listening to us all the way. It's going to put runners on the corners, and that's going to bring in Keibert Ruiz. And the first pitch he sees, he swings at, and he lifts it into center field. Camping out underneath it is Varsho. He makes the catch. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's going to be cut off, and scoring is going to be the base runner, Nelson Cruz. That's going to improve the lead to 5-1. It's going to go down as a sacrifice to 8 for out number 1 here in the 8th inning, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Mikhail Franco. Our friend Vivid Life says, cheers in Nats and ML. Well, we know that he was calling for that earlier on. That's going to be it for Oliver Perez, as his day is over. They are going to be going. We got a pitching change, everybody. Stick around. We'll be back in just a moment with all the updates. And the Diamondbacks are going to the pen for the 4th time today. Check that 3rd time today. It'll be their 4th pitcher used on the ball game. We'll be back after this from our friend Steve.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars, That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Appreciate you again there, Dave. That is Steve Rademacher, friend of our channels, and in turn, we like to support him. We do have a pitching change. It is going to be a right-hander. It's going to be Matt Peacock coming into the ball game for the Diamondbacks on the early season this year. He's only appeared in one game. He's thrown 2 innings. He's allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, both of which are earned. He's also allowed a walk and struck out 1. So he is coming up to face Maikel Franco. The runner at first being Josh Bell, and there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. That pitch there handcuffed the catcher Herrera. That's about the 4th time today we've seen Herrera drop a ball. I don't know if it's the new pitcher that's in the game or just something that he's going to get used to. And there's a pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It has popped up into shallow center field. Darton Valcho makes his way underneath it. He makes the grab, and that is going to retire Franco for the 2nd out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to Lane Thomas. So Peacock comes in, delivers 1 pitch. And he retires the first out that he has, and that's going to bring Thomas to the plate. For Lane Thomas, he is 0 for 3 today. He's grounded to third and struck out looking twice. Facing Peacock here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the first pitch is a fastball taken down low for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Like father, like son in the house. He's dropping off a like. We appreciate that, Joe. Thanks for stopping in. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses inside. And the count is now 2-0 to Thomas. Thomas has seen his average slip today to 167. As he is 0 for 3 in the ball game. So here comes the 2-0 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down. The count is now 3-0. There is action in the Washington pen. Austin Voth is getting loose. So we would anticipate that he will be called to come in and finish this one off. As we said, it is a chess game once they get into the bullpen. And Voth will come in to try to finish the deal. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner. That makes the count now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Thomas. The runner at first is Josh Bell. There's 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Nationals have stretched out their lead to 5-1. And here's the 3-1 pitch. And it's a fastball that misses inside. And Thomas has drawn himself a 2-out walk that's going to advance Josh Bell over to second. That is going to bring up It's going to bring up actually a pinch hitter at this point here, or do we have? No, it's going to bring up Alcides Escobar. Escobar is still in the ball game. Escobar today is officially 0 for 2. He walked and was caught stealing in the 3rd. He popped to the second baseman, but he reached on the error by Marte. That was the turning point in this ball game, and then he grounded out to second. So he's officially in the books as 0 for 2. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Escobar digs himself in, waiting on the offering from Peacock. There's a lot of signs being flashed by the catcher Herrera. Here comes the pitch. It is a changeup swung on and missed. That runs the count now to 0-2 to Escobar. So no balls and 2 strikes. Herrera flashing the signs. That runner on second, he's got all kinds of stuff moving around there. And there's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded through the middle into center field. Varsho fields the ball. He comes up as Bell rounds third to score, and that is going to improve the lead to 6-1. It's an RBI single here for Alcides Escobar. And Josh Bell comes all the way around. It improves the lead to 6-1 for the Nationals. Lane Thomas is going to stop at second base, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Victor Robles. So for all the Washington National fans out there, they've got something to cheer about. They're going to probably more than likely got enough insurance here to put this one on ice. There's still 3 outs to go for the Diamondbacks. They've given themselves some insurance here. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Robles. Robles is 1 for 2 in this ball game. He's also had a sacrifice bunt. He's driven in a run. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The right-hander Peacock checks the sign from his catcher Herrera, and he delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded foul down the third base line. That runs the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Robles. Bumgarner gets the sign from his catcher Herrera, and he's ready to go back to work. He kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball down. They appeal down to the first base umpire, Stu Sherwater. He says he didn't go, and that is going to keep the count now at 2-2. So Robles gets a little bit of second life here. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Robles. Peacock ready to deliver. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's going to be lifted foul into the seats behind the first base dugout. The count is 2-2. One thing I would be curious is over the course of a major league game to find out how many balls are fouled off into the seats. Well, you know there's foul balls, but how many actually reach the seats? How many souvenirs are put into these stands? Fascinated to know that. Of course, with the netting that's up and around, not all the balls reach like they used to. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike, and Robles stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 3. And that is going to do it here for the Nationals in their half of the 8th inning. But there was damage done. Nationals with 3 runs in their half of the 8th inning. They had 2 hits. There was no error. There was 1 error. That was the interference on the catcher. And there was 2 runners left aboard. We are now going to the top of the 9th inning. It is the Washington Nationals 6, the Arizona Diamondbacks 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the top of the 9th inning.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 9th inning, and it is going to be the right-hander Austin Voth coming in to replace reliever Brandon Finnegan. So Austin Voth now in to pitch. He has appeared in 4 games this season. He's got a 4 2/3 innings of work. He has really, really struggled, so this is an opportunity for him to come in and to gain some confidence. The 5th-year veteran of the Nationals. He has pitched 4 2/3 innings, allowed 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 of which have been earned. He's walked 2 and struck out 4. But he has put up some ugly-looking numbers so far to date. So Voth in here in relief. He is slated to face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the Diamondback batting order. That is going to be David Peralta, Seth Beer, and Cooper Hummel. We'll see if there's going to be anybody that will be pinch hit for in this grouping. So Austin Voth, the right-hander, to face Peralta, Beer, and Hummel here in the top of the 9th inning. The Nationals are down to their final 3 outs. So here we go. Here's the first pitch from Voth. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to David Peralta. Peralta today is officially 1 for 2. He doubled, was caught stealing in the 4th. He has also flown to right and walked. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. Voth kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and in. The count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. For Peralta, they have a full house on the right side of the infield. They've taken Mikhail Franco and moved him into shallow right field. They keep the shortstop to the left of second base. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-1. You can kind of see why the Nationals like Austin Voth. He's got some movement on his pitches. He's got a interesting looking breaking ball. He's got some movement on the fastball, but his numbers over the last few years have been certainly what we would call ugly. And there is a fastball that is yanked foul. It's going to reach the seats well down the right field line. That's going to run the count to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just as a reminder, we'll be back at it again tomorrow for the Brewers and the Pirates. It's an afternoon affair. We do a lot of the afternoon games in the midday. So here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 2-2. There's some servicemen in behind home plate. It's kind of funny on that foul ball. They were all moving out of the way. Obviously, the netting was between them and the baseball. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Voth holds at the chest. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on, and this is lifted foul down the left field line. It keeps the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Voth gets the sign from his catcher, Ruiz. He's ready to go back to work. He works from the stretch with nobody on, and here comes the 2-2. He kicks and he fires. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded up the middle, and it's going to get by the glove of the shortstop, Escobar. And Peralta is going to get his second hit of the ball game with a single here to lead off the 9th inning. That is going to bring up the first baseman, Seth Beer. So the Diamondbacks are not dead yet. Got their leadoff batter on here in the bottom of the 9th, and Beer steps to the plate. Beer is 1 for 3 today. He doubled in the 6th. He's also struck out twice, once looking and once swinging. So the runner at first is Peralta, and Beer is at the dish. Voth gets the sign from his catcher, and he's ready to kick and deliver, and he fires. It is a fastball that is taken on the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Beer. Beer digs in. He's waiting on the offering from the right-hander, Voth. He kicks and fires, and that is a breaking ball that misses down and in. Now that makes the count 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Beer. Voth holds at the chest and gets the sign from his catcher, and he's ready to go to work. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-1 to Beer. Well, some of the National fans are already making their way to the exits. They certainly don't have to worry about a traffic jam leaving, as this game here this afternoon is not a full house. But with that being said, they still got to try to be able to finish a way to be able to finish this one off. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 3-1 on Beer. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Austin Voth, who has struggled this season, is in the process of being able to put 2 on and nobody out. This game has had some odd moments to it for sure today. So here comes the 3-1 pitch. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded up the middle, and it gets by the diving second baseman, Cesar Hernandez, into center field. It's picked up by Robles, who fires it back in and almost nailed David Peralta, who went too far around the base. And so they are going to have a quick look at this. They want to see, did they get Peralta on the throwback in? But that was grounded past the glove of Hernandez. Peralta overruns the bag. They fire it back in, but I think he's going to beat that back in time. It's going to be a base hit for Beer. So Beer's got a single. Peralta stops at second. We're going to have to wait for the video review, but that's going to bring up Cooper Hummel, and the tying run is in the on-deck circle. The Nationals now have their closer, Rainey, up, getting him to get going. That's the worst thing you could want, is to have the closer come into the ball game here after you had a 5-run lead going into the top of the 9th. So Austin Voth is throwing batting practice here to the Diamondbacks in their half of the 9th inning. So our friend Vivid Life, who was listening earlier, probably not impressed. He's still in the house here. It's not over yet. So Cooper Hummel steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He has walked. Back in the 4th inning, he's struck out and flown to left. So here we are back to the live action as Voth gets the sign from his catcher, Ruiz. He comes set at the chest. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Hummel. Hummel's batting average has slipped to 111 on the season with the 2 outs that he's had today, but he's digging in ready on the offering from Voth. He checks the runner Peralta at second. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Runs the count to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. The right fielder, Jake McCarthy, is looming on deck, waiting his turn. So here comes the 0-2 offering to Hummel. Voth comes set at the chest. He checks the runner Peralta at second. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on it. Is lifted into left center field. Moving over underneath it is Victor Robles, who makes the catch. He fires it back in, and that will be 1 away here in the 9th inning. That is going to bring up the right fielder, Jake McCarthy. So that was a much-needed out for Voth, as the first 2 batters have reached via a single. Now Jake McCarthy steps up to the plate. For McCarthy on the season, he is 1 for 3. He grounded to the pitcher his first time up as he tried to bunt his way on. He's also singled and struck out looking. So right-hander against the left-hander. Voth ready to go to work. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to McCarthy. Voth is certainly locating his breaking balls much better than his fastballs. So no balls and 1 strike. Voth checks the runner at second. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that catches the top part of the strike zone, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Voth ready to go back to work. He's getting his sign from the catcher, Ruiz, with the runner at second. Just like his counterpart, Herrera, he really cycles through a lot of signs. There's a breaking ball that misses down. And Peralta does not advance as he holds at second. That runs the count now to 1-2. This is the 18th pitch of the inning for Austin Voth. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Voth gets a new baseball and he rubs it up. He's ready to go back to work. McCarthy steps into the box. The Diamondbacks are batting here in the top of the 9th inning. Voth checks the runner at second. He delivers. It is a breaking ball, swung on and missed. And that is going to retire McCarthy for the second out of the inning. The Diamondbacks are now down to their final out. Scheduled to come to bat is Sergio Alcantara. The switch hitting now shortstop. We'll step to the plate here with 2 out in the top of the 9th inning. And the scoreline 6-1 for Washington. So runner at second is Peralta. The runner at first is Beer. There's a first pitch breaking ball from Voth that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Voth has certainly done a better job with his breaking stuff, getting it over for strikes here than his fastballs in the 9th inning. So the definitely does not want to bring the tying run to the plate. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. Jose Herrera waits on deck, but we would think that they'll probably use a pinch hitter for him in that situation. Herrera is still looking for his first hit of the season. He's definitely not swinging a hot bat, that is for sure. So here comes the 2-0 pitch from Voth. Voth gets the sign. He's ready to go back to work. He checks Peralta at second. A long pause, and there is a fastball that misses inside. Runs the count to 3-0 on Alcantara. As we said, Rainey, the closer for the Nationals, is up and throwing in the bullpen right now. Something that Dave Martinez did not want to have to get to. So here comes the 3-0 pitch to Alcantara. Voth kicks and he fires. There's a fastball taken right down the middle for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-1. I wonder if Alcantara is going to have the take here with 3-1 as well, the way that Voth has been pitching. May not necessarily be a bad strategy. So here comes the 3-1 pitch, and it is a fastball swung on. It is grounded to first. It's fielded neatly by Josh Bell. He flips it over to the pitcher covering, and that is going to do it. It's going to go down as a ground out, 3-1 for out number 3 here in the 9th inning. So the Arizona Diamondbacks threaten, but they don't score. There was no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. Your final score from Washington, it is the Nationals 6, the Diamondbacks 1. Well, everybody, we're going to wrap this up in just a moment when we come back. We appreciate you guys being here and checking out our stuff. Give us about 30 seconds and we'll tie this one up and put it to bed. We'll be back again tomorrow on the air for the Brewers and the Pirates. Hang tight. We'll be right back.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave's Zero Thought Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate you, Dave, and your support of our channel. Check out Zero Fox Sports at the end of the game. You can see what he has to offer. Let him know Last Raps Baseball sent you, and he'll enter you into a wheel of names. And there you have it. Just taking a quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard, the San Francisco Giants now have a 4-1 lead over the New York Mets. Jock Peterson has a solo homer to his name. The second run was knocked in by Vossler. He knocked in Estrada back in the second inning. And now Brandon Crawford has knocked in a pair of runs, including Mike Yastrzemski and Brandon Belt. That is the 4 runs and how they've been accounted for by the Mets for the Giants. For the Mets, Starling Marte scored a run. He got the only run right now for the New York Mets. It is a 4-1 ball game in the top of the 4th inning. To recap this one, it was definitely an interesting game. There were some very weird calls and a lot of it. In the 3rd inning, the Arizona Diamondbacks got the scoring open on a solo shot by Dalton Varsho, and that is where the scoring ended for them. Madison Bumgarner had a no-hitter through 4 2/3 innings. With 2 out in the 5th, there was a pop-up to the second baseman, Ketel Marte, and he dropped the pop-up to end the inning. Ended up that Alcides Escobar reached base. Then Victor Robles doubled him home. That opened the scoring. And then Cesar Hernandez doubled home Victor Robles. And so a game that could have been a no-hitter through 5 ended up being a 2-0 deficit for the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Nats got another run in the 6th inning on a leadoff single by Nelson Cruz. Josh Bell also singled. And then it was an RBI single by Maikel Franco that knocked home Nelson Cruz, and that made the score 3-1. The Nats blew it open in their half of the 8th inning, a leadoff hit by pitch by Juan Soto. Then Nelson Cruz reached on catcher's interference, which was a controversial call for sure because we looked at the replays and didn't see where the umpire had noted that. So that Nelson Cruz reached base. Josh Bell then singled and drove home a run. And then Kybert Ruiz hit a sac fly to center field, and that got 2 more. And then after a walk, Alcides Escobar singled home Josh Bell. That was your final score, a 6-1 game for the Washington Nationals over the Arizona Diamondbacks. All right, everybody, once again, we'll be back on the air again tomorrow. It's going to be the Pirates facing the Milwaukee Brewers. Hopefully you guys can come on in and check it out once again. We appreciate you guys being here. We'll be back for all the action again tomorrow. It's been another Last Rouse Baseball production. Have a great day, everybody.